Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I see you looking at me, looking at you. Hold up, where you going? What you doing? Who you seeing? What you need? What you want? I said, without you by my side, my side, my side. Without you by my side. One time from side to side. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. One time from side to side.
Older, the Aurora, the Ziggs, like that's basically just like what Worlds is. But Jin's gonna be coming on out, rounding out the bot lane for Dorado. Gonna be excited to see Indigo rocking that. Versus a mid lane pick, like you said. Both these two champions, Aurora, Yone, be flexed either way, and however these next 4 picks go, it might decide where these champions are going.
Yeah, leaving up a lot of junglers on the table still. They are banning out the Syndra, so that's something that does generally do. Couple weeks ago, pretty strong as far as I can tell. Definitely one of the premier junglers currently in the state of the game. Could also still be flex top, so keeping the options open. But Trundle, a nice pick, could be going straight to the top lane in case to match the Udyr. That I've heard that matchup's not terrible, so we'll see what ends up happening here as they're gonna lock in the Ahri. So it's definitely locking in Trundle in the jungle, Aurora top, Ahri in the mid lane. So let's see what TMG has left in their bag of tricks.
Yeah, this is where they're going to decide if they want to flex, and there is will be Camille into the top side up against this Aurora, and the Yone will be in the mid lane against the Ahri. Overall, not too terrible matchups. I don't really know how the Camille's going to fare against the Aurora. I know that the Camille's going to have that true damage trading potential with the Elemental Shield, so be able to survive a lot of the poke trades comparatively to the Yone. And should be able to, especially after getting Sheen, might be able to actually burst down the Aurora as long as she's able to go even, maybe even on farm, and just hold on out until hitting one of those power spikes and then all-inning on this Aurora. I'm going to be more likely to see, like, are we going to get a flash ignite kind of angle, or not, are we going to get a TP ignite kind of angle on this Camille, or are we going to have a standard flash or somewhat? That's kind of going to determine how Nair wants to play out this lane on the Camille. But looking at the team compositions as a whole, lots of team fighting potential for Dorado. They definitely have a wanna-be on your face brawling composition, whereas the backline's going to sit back and the Ahri is just going to try and pull your attention away. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense because Team G also kind of does the same thing. You got Udyr and Alistar right there, as well as a Yone. They all 3 champions that kind of want to be brawling back and forth within a team fight and extending out those trades. So it's gonna come down to the wire realistically here. Can you get on top of this Jhin? Can you burst down the Aurora fast enough? Those are going to be your 2 win cons over on the side of Dorado. And can you find and get on top of this Ziggs if you are Dorado trying to win a fight against Team?
Welcome to Summoner's
I think one important thing to note, I believe the top lane skirmishing is going to be a big point of pressure here for,
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Camille. I'm not entirely sure who wins that, but I think in the extended trades, the Aurora is definitely going to be the one that kind of comes out on top. So I think there should be a lot of focus there, especially since these are 2 kind of neutralizing lane types, AD carries. Well, AD is a funny term there, but bot lane carries here that I expect them to just farm against each other. There could be some potential level 1 shenanigans. You see it a lot, so we'll end up seeing what happens on
minions have spawned.
Yeah, and I'm interesting to see that the Trundle is okay. Okay. So Split Fruit's moving to the bot side. I like this because while you want to path away from the Udyr essentially early, because I mean Trundle can win that fight early, but you realistically don't need to or want to be kind of taking it because the Udyr has a faster clear speed than you right now. Even though the Leandri's got nerfed, even though Udyr got nerfed, even though the Faded Ashes got nerfed, at the end of the day, Udyr's going to have a faster clear speed than you. So you need to be matching that tempo in the early game as much as physically possible, and then coming off your camps looking for a gank somewhere. That's going to be at Hazem into the top side. I think we leave the bot lane alone because if you look at the rest of the map, the scaling is there for Dorado. You've got Aurora, you've got Ahri. Ahri does need some gold into the pocket. And then in the bot lane, you've got Jhin. So if he can go uncontested getting these curtain calls off in the team fight, no matter what, I believe that, the scaling on Team G is pretty predominant as well. You've got Udyr and you've got Ziggs. But eventually, the Aurora, like we talked about, is going to be able to win a lot of the trades against the Camille. So they're going to be bursting down these squishies like the Camille and like the Yone in those team fights. So it's going to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I do really think that the comp that is drafted is actually really good in almost every champ except for Aurora. Yone, good lockdown. Udyr, very tanky. Makes it pretty insane, I'd say, against melees in particular. And Ahri doesn't have the damage to kind of break through a lot of these picks on the side. He gonna find a little bit of a roam, which is gonna deny that with the damage over onto them. But the wave's crashing, so very safe position here for TMG.
Yeah, I'm not going to be expecting realistically any fighting until neutral objectives come. Prioritizing their clear, then looking for is going to be able to win this stun straight on the Hezem's going to go forward with the W. Brock's just trying to trade out the auto. Lands the Q, gets the electrocute proc, but unfortunately cannot find the E and the Q pullback. A little bit of a hard skate at the moment. This flipper looks to come up the pillars, not going to be able to find the knockup. He's going to slingshot his way on right out of there. Hazem should have a free push though. Could freeze this actually, force the Camille to be able to have the TP back into the lane, take a reset and have tempo.
Yeah, looks like just gonna go
let me know
push,
when
get the free reset. One important thing I think also to say is this bot lane, Jhin is. Hold that thought.
Yep, it's a great headbutt engage. Stitch trying to be able to get a stun off, not going to be able to find Kiwi. It's looking like the Udyr wrapping around the corner, wants to be able to find something, might cancel the first recall, might commit to it, looking like he's going to commit to it, so nothing going to be happening here into the bot side, and we go ending this trade back and forth on to Stitch. Meanwhile, Split Bread maybe looking for a little bit of a counter. Jungle Chicken's not going to be up just yet, while Hazem is in a dangerous spot at the moment. Nair needs to find a wall if he wants to be able to land the stun off, electrocute proc straight on down. Level 4 into the bot lane. Looks like Team G has a little bit of that advantage for the time being as Nair's taking trades once again. But the mana bar isn't there for Petty. Needs to find a recall angle as Nair's looking for the all-in trade off. The Udyr's going to be there. Hazem goes into W form. Now, is it going to be nearly in the nick of time? It's looking like he was able to get out, yes.
Yeah. And, yeah, so right now it looks like the top lane just going to go pretty even. I don't know the farm counts, but looks like everything's kind of neutralizing out across the map. I will say one thing on the point of scaling
Yeah, most definitely. Now we have the set up spawning up and on. Udyr into the bot side. Going to probably try and there's a couple of dragons in the jungle. On the top side, you know, you have that bot slash maybe one in close. Bundle of quick up is something great knock back in there onto Stitch. Can land Shattering Strike, but it's not going to be nearly enough damage. She's forced to burn the flash though on that Alistar. But Grubs are going to be up. Ahri has another engage indigo, one more auto. Will finally gets first blood into the bot lane on the Jhin, looking for potentially more. Has to reload though. Down to about a quarter of HP. Meanwhile, this entire time, Udyr just taking this first dragon, will be able to claim it. Yone will be able to come straight on down, but the Trundle is going to be able to respond with those Void Grubs.
Yeah, pretty even trade, but the first kill obviously going over to the Jhin, so that's exactly where you want that gold to go. The Ziggs actually has a Cole, which is pretty interesting. Definitely thought it was just going to be a full farm out lane. Stitch thought otherwise. They went for the duel here. They're going to find clear.
Kiwi maybe catching out the Udyr. Can they potentially get the kill? Goes unstoppable though. Flash for it. Kerrigan is not able to finish off the kill, but forces the flash out of the Udyr and denies the counter jungling.
Stitch in the top side.
Yeah, Hazam already used the W, the knock-up headbutt, though. It does connect, stun, comes straight on down too, but Nair too far away, not able to find much of anything now. Hazem feeling like he has the better footing. Kerrigan able to easily dodge out that Fate Seal. That one was a little bit greedy there. Maybe it's a lot thinking that with the mana bar that Kerrigan has, he could look for some sort of all-in potential. Not realistically a bad play there, but with Ari's mobility, you definitely need some form of CC to slow her, lock her down before you try to make a very hard-hitting ultimate like that come off.
Yeah, I think Ari's a little bit tough to actually kind of take out. Or Ari, sorry, I'm getting caught up on my words here. Ari has grasps, so the Udyr is actually not going to go down in that scenario. That's one of the downsides going this build. You really do lack all that early burst damage. Yes, it's a bit more survivable into the Yone, and you get to stack it for free. But missing that damage early on means these tanky champions are just going to get away with kind of murder in that scenario. Definitely should have been a free pick there.
Definitely. Meanwhile, Indigo continuing to supply pressure onto Petty. Shove this Ziggs in and under the turret. No ganks have been coming down into the bot side just yet on either side. Kind of makes sense, you know, both teams kind of prioritizing this top lane matchup where we've kind of established where most of the win con is, because in the bot lane, the win con is going to be much later into the game. Ziggs, you can leave alone. He's going to scale no matter what. The Jhin has more gold into the pocket off of getting that first blood, so we'll have a little bit of an advantage, at least going forward in this match. But there's team fights, really what it's going to come down to. I'm expecting as we approach the 15-minute mark soon, in the next roughly 5 minutes, that we're going to have a lot more team fighting. Now, Team G claiming the first dragon, might be able to take the second one. I'm expecting Split Breed to try and prioritize the full 6 Void groups. And Team G, you know, they will gladly take the trade-off and get that second dragon because, they, like we talked about in the draft, they're a very brawl-heavy team composition that wants to stay in and fight. And the dragons are very helpful for that.
Yeah, Kerrigan coming out to the pretty even matchup here, even despite roaming earlier. So I think the dragons will be the main focus. You're right on that. TMG already having the 1 is definitely a good sign. Also, Udyr, one of those champions that kind of benefits from every stat. That's just how he works. So you will not be too disgruntled with getting any of them.
Definitely. It's allowed, maybe forced under the turret here, while the Udyr is able to find Kiwi. Shattering Strike comes down straight into the charm. Will it be enough damage? Ignite ticking away, but is it going to be able to go unstoppable? Curtain Call comes on out. Soul lands, but it's only going to be hitting up onto Stitch. It's allowed, goes in with the Unbound Soul, trying to find some sort of engage. Does not decide to commit the Fate Seal, though. And now Hazem forcing another recall onto Nair. Might be able to push out this wave. Nair actually cancels the timer. This Hazem has ultimate. Nair has flash though. Does Hazem look for an all-in? This Haunting Geese versus Sheen. This is like a pre-full item power spike for both of these champions. We may have some sort of full all-in here, as both of them do have ultimate as well. Just going to be haunting each other. First Void Grove, second set of Void Groves about to spawn.
Yeah, this is a pretty big stalemate here. Hazem hits the level 9. Udyr walking towards this top side though. Hazem has no idea at this point. Stitch as well, gonna join in. Not spotted on a ward. This should be just a snap engage in just a second.
This is free. Oh, this is so free for them. The Vibe Between World comes out trying to bounce between, but is not able to get the proc off. And that's just one dead Battle Bunny in the top side. Now we're going to see that the Void Grubs look like they have been started by Split Breed. The Ziggs is roaming up, going to be able to catch up on this mid wave, and they're going to be sending Yon into the bot lane, respectively. So you get the kill on the top side, but you're still going to lose out on this objective from what it's looking like. Yep, full set of Void Grubs going to go back on over to Split Breed on this run. There's absolutely no vision. They have no clue. And it's just absolutely free macro, free objectives for the Dorado team. So say, hey, you killed the bunny. That's fine. We're going to take the objective. And now Toronto going to move towards this bot side. Maybe try and contest this second dragon.
Yeah, that was pretty well played on the sneak there. They thought, hey, there's no way they're doing grubs after this play that we just made in the top side. So they just take it away. Stitch can just go for a help pull. Not going to find anything. Hazem able to dodge away. But I will say, looked kind of like Hazem didn't know about... I mean, at least it's hard to notice what the timing difference is, since Aurora, each level, you get a little bit longer on the actual ultimate there. So tries to go for the escape on the wall. wasn't able to do it just because the timing has changed over the last couple patches as well. So
Yeah, second dragon picked up for TMG. The Udyr able to find that one. Now they're starting to get their scaling and they're fighting online. Scoreline still looking like it's about 1-1 though, so things still pretty much even. Can't really tell where the gold is at the moment. But so far it's 2 objectives to 2. This Rift Herald could be a big pickup for the Trundle. I'd be excited to see where you want to take this. Cracking open the mid lane to be able to help out with these dragons would be nice. And also, like, you got to be wary because we're getting closer to into the later state, the mid to later stage of this game. The Ziggs is going to start decimating towers left, right, and center. So you want to start getting that prio on the map as quickly as possible before the Ziggs can like take your towers and your map availability away from you first.
yeah, Zig's kind of a specialist on that exact pick, and these are when all these first item power spikes happen. You know, I think Yone especially on the board is kind of been the kind of one item spike champ for quite a while. You just buy this, and then a lot of the time you see them end up pivot towards Stride Breaker, just to get a little bit more tanky, and also makes your pick potential a lot more potent. So seeing that Bork in the pocket of Yone is extremely encouraging. Ari still sitting on one item, wants to clear out this wave and go for a big reset here, just to be able to match, but there is no big objectives. There will be Rift Herald in about 45 seconds or so, or 20, I guess, at this point. So, you know, that'll probably be a big point of contention with everyone moving up. Hazem going to get back canceled. Does not have TP, so this time is significant.
Yeah, definitely. Stepping a little bit far forward there, maybe for trying to just contest out these waves. TP will be back up in about a minute or 2 or so. So probably just gonna try to wait that one out. And I are gonna have a little bit of that TP advantage as we still have about roughly 3 minutes before this next dragon. Aurora TP should be back up in the nick of time for that though. But we see that the positioning has already shifted towards this Rift Herald. We had a lane swap early, throwing Indigo into that mid lane, wanting to get this AD carry involved in the fights early. Has that first collector. It is matched by a Ludens now on a Petty, but if they could get this Jhin fighting early with the advantages that they have, they can claim these top side objectives. Even though Hazem might be down a little bit in terms of first item. Well, Hazem hasn't backed yet, so but in terms of tempo at the moment, Hazem is down by an item completion. Who should have that, I believe Leandri's finished right now when they recall into base. And that'll help them get that prio kind of back into the top lane.
Yeah, I think at this point in the game, it's pretty equal, and it seems like TMG just wants to drop everything for the Drakes. They're okay with making those kinds of trades. I don't think they have too much onus on them just yet. I think with Camille especially, your side laning is going to be amazing with 1-3-1. Zig's also extremely good at playing kind of this you lean towards, you throw the Mega Inferno Death Bomb whenever you feel like it, and you get to clear waves, so they get to actually allocate a bit more resources than Dorado would have to for these side lanes. So I'd say pretty good stuff here for TMG if they just keep this game state as it stands.
We got about a minute 30 before the next dragon. Udyr might be trying to find that sort of angle to fight here into the bot lane. Trundle's up in the top side of the bot lane river, so could be there for the fight if necessary. Maybe they want to look for some sort of tower dive onto this Yone. If possible, Charm's going to end up going extremely wide. Fate Seal's going to be able to get the knock up straight onto the rail. And now that Udyr's looking for some sort of engagement, has to force the retreat and back on off, just picking away with the storm damage onto Splitbreed, but he's a Trundle. He'll heal that back up. He does not particularly care. Now, this tower is extremely weak with Demo proc and 6 Void Grubs. It could potentially fully go on down here, but not just yet. It's allowed, finds a Q3, engage, flash straight on forward into the stun. He's going to be able to find this Ahri, and it's allowed, cleans up the kill. TP straight on into the tower as well for a little bit of reinforcements. Zen's going to be able to come in with a divide between worlds. The Udyr has the flash on the way, but Splitbreed's able to find the trade-off. It's a 1-for-1 into the bot lane right now, while Stitch is dropping extremely low, and will eventually go down. Splitbreed Slippery cleaning up that one in the curtain call, just firing off shots left, right, and centers. Nair's going to be able to use the Hextech Ultimatum into the Mega Inferno Bomb onto Hazem. It's a ton of damage, and the bunny has to flash away. Nair looking for the stun off, is going to be able to find it. Now Indigo's next to the target, has to burn that barrier, but he was aiming for the Camille, I think, but ended up rooting It's So Loud there on the Yon, and Split Breed just going ham on the Trundle, able to find it, but the shutdown goes into the favor of the Ziggs, who's able to pick up, I believe, 2 kills during that fight, as well as a shutdown. And I think overall, it went potentially 4-4-3, maybe about to make it 4-4-4 if Kerrigan can find the cleanup kill onto Petty. I don't realistically see a world where Petty does get out here. Yep, especially after the charm lands. So I believe this fight ended up going 4-4. There's no way he lives, right? No way. Okay, I guess Petty is just going to live, so it's more of an even trade-off. There's another TP's coming down. Udyr back into the lane. Kerrigan trying to run away as fast as possible. Shattering Strike just giving him a stun up to Udyr. Keep him away from this Ahri for as long as possible. Stitch, can you land a stun? No, not able to find it, but the Udyr is able to find Mr. Kiwi, and it's definitely a positive trade for TMG coming out on top. They should be able to claim the next dragon as well, and they're going to be sitting on Soul Point.
Yeah, that was a 6 for 4, I believe, if my counting is correct. So, you know, that's a pretty insane play there, and it all started off from getting that first initial pick off onto Kerrigan, then the snowball kept rolling, and you saw how strong the Camille is at this point. Pretty uncontested. Split Breed's gonna go for a contest on the Drake, but that was ill-advised. Nice combo there from It's So Loud. Not a Yumi OTP. I don't know. Something suspicious going on with that account. Let's double check it.
That champion got buffed, by the way.
Of course he got buffed. Very popular champion. Sells a lot of skins, I'm sure. As you can see here in the bot lane, It's So Loud's going to find a first engage that looks a little bit poor, but there really is no capitalization that they could have since the Udyr did have the empowered ultimate there to actually kind of stop them in their tracks. Kerrigan's going to walk forward again for a bit of damage on this next minion. But as soon as It's So Loud stacks up that Q, just going to go in for the engage. Kerrigan gets caught, immediately flashed on by Stitch, flashed follow. It's So Loud there, finds the kill. And now Udyr's going to go down, but a lot of resources are going to be committed just to get that. And Split Breed's now in a pretty bad position where you kind of just have to abandon your support. And then now it's all up to this Camille for the most part, since the gap is pretty wide. This combo is extremely nice. Could have got a bit more damage onto the Jhin, which could have maybe made this just a clean 5 for 3, but nope, didn't happen. Nice. Nair gets a nice dodge away to kill your teammate. So, you know, that's just unlucky there.
It's skill.
Yeah, skill for sure. And then Indigo gets the 4th shot on. Petty gonna stick around. Gonna get TP'd on, but survives with just a sliver. Kerrigan just not able to land all the skills and positions actually in a way that makes it very disadvantageous for them.
You know, on the top side, 5-2 goes straight onto Nair into the Magnus Storm. They're trying to be able to find some sort of trade-off. Mega Inferno Bomb's going to go wide. It lands an arcane combat damage as Udyr is able to find the cleanup kill onto the Hazem. And Kiwi's just next. Double kill for Udyr. The champion got nerfed, but it's not looking like it. Here in game number 1 of our best of 3 tonight as the Rift Herald gets spawned up into the mid lane. As Trundle's coming on down, they're going to charge this one on into the turret. Avoid the Trundle Pillar? Okay. Go around the Trundle Pillar. So, not able to find the turret, not able to find the mid lane. Off that, I think maybe that the Herald was expiring, so that's why they tried to commit to a play like that. But looking at everything across the board, like, you know, Udyr is ahead, the Yon is ahead. This game is starting to look really dire for the side of Dorado as a great charm. That's actually, I'll gladly take the caster curse there if I had, because that's a great charm find onto the Udyr, getting overzealous, going for the counter jungle, and unable to be able to stay alive. Gets punished for it. Charm lands, Split Breed picks up the shutdown. Trundle having the shutdown, honestly, not too shabby. Already 4-2, has the Sheen, has the Heartbound X, probably could potentially look to be completing that Triforce here very, very soon off of that 4-1 shutdown. Probably a little bit extra 500 gold in the pocket there, so.
I think crucially there, Clear didn't have that Spirit Visage. It was pretty much a full like 2k back after that last fight, so definitely much squishier than Udyr normally would be. Nair now 1v2ing in the top side. They really can't contest with this commit.
He's 1v2ing it, but then the charm lands, and it's not able to find the kill. Mega Inferno Bomb though. Oh, will it burn down Hazem? ticking away. No, it does not. Unfortunately, that's some of the reason why you build Malignants and Leandries on the Ziggs there. But you know, a burst damage that he's going to be able to have in the back pocket is going to help out a little bit as well. So, unfortunately, just not enough to be able to find the kill there.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate, but well played from Nair. Anyways, it was pretty close. I think had a bit more damage, probably would have taken actually that 1v2, but nice charm there from Kerrigan's gonna lock it up and put this game in a pretty tumultuous state. I'd say this next Drake is gonna be pretty crucial. Obviously, it is gonna be that soul, which I'd say you don't want a Ziggs to have an Infernal Soul. I'd say that's a pretty safe statement.
You say the Ziggs, I say the Udyr and Yone. Any of these three in the middle of the pack here, you do not want to give an Infernal Soul on over to. They're already strong enough as it is. Trundle has completed the Triforce now. We have a 2-item already on the field as well. So this one is gotta be one worth fighting for. Can we find someone split off? Can we find some sort of pick before the Udyr goes for the engage and the Yone follows up and the Mega Inferno Bomb comes down? Quite potentially. TP's coming on in. Hazem is already forced to burn out the W though. That's actually not that great going into this team fight. Although the Udyr is getting chunked straight down off the back of the Trundle ultimate. But Stitch has a little bit of a flank here. They do have the positioning. They do have vision on it. Petty flashes away from the Magnet Storm, but they're committing so much to find this Ziggs and they were barely able to get the shutdown. The flash, unfortunately, was not enough. Nair going over the wall. Hazem maybe caught out. Charm going to end up landing. Kerrigan on fire with these here tonight. And Nair forced to flash away as the Fate Seal comes over the wall. Maybe trying to find Kerrigan. Yep, that's it. So good for 1. Can he be good for 2, though? Unfortunately not, but Nair should be able to clean it up. So it's going to be a 2 for 2. 1 trade off so far. Only able to find Petty. Udyr just dodging, weaving, going back and forth, just being a menace for as long and as much as physically possible. Going to be able to shove out this mid lane wave. They're trying to kill the jungler. They want to commit to this champion, but while the Udyr has to run away, the dragon has yet to be started, so that's a good plus side there for you for Dorado. But in the bean side, all your waves are shoved in. The top side's pushing down, bot side's under a tier 2, and you're gonna get mid lane turret here, but Udyr's almost full HP back in the fight. You don't even get the mid lane turret, and now maybe they're looking for a little bit of a wrap around. Petty's back into the fight. Yone has to force the Rel has to TP away. Udyr can cancel this. Not going to commit anything else left to it. Now you're back into the fight, and we're back to where we were, square one in this dragon fight. Going to go ahead and already get started up. Petty has returned. Does not have the flash this time, but has the Mega Inferno Bomb. Splitblade being that frontline presence, going to get zoned off in the Scatter Bomb. Has the Trundle back in the pocket, and the Curtain Call coming on in. It's not doing nearly enough damage at the moment, but a 3-man Magnet Storm may be able to help solidify that. It's a huge Shattering Strike, but Kiwi has already fallen first. The fight between worlds, is it going to be enough? Nair gets the better half of the enemy jungler. Has them doing their most damage, maybe able to find Stitch, but not just yet. It's so loud. Goes into the Unbound Soul, snaps back, not yet. Nair able to find the stun off the Dragon Soul has been picked up for the side of TMG. They're trying to chase down Kerrigan. It's a very mobile fox in your base at the moment, but it's going to be a clean trade this time around. Unfortunately, not able to find Hazem, so they didn't get the ace. This time, in round number 2 of the Dragon Pit for Soul, TMG come out on top.
Yeah, TMG did a great job there, actually making sure that they didn't let any of the threats come through. The Infernal Soul damage, unexpected there for Hazem as they go down, and that's going to be full setup here. They want to push out some waves before they do go contest that Baron, but I feel like it was pretty free if they did want to go for it, because at this point, you are not defeating the Yone Camille combo at this point. Mr. Kiwi is just dying under the turret. Welcome to Yone. That's just how it works. You just kind of wash off your hands after that play, because yeah, it's disgusting.
You're assuming Yone players wash themselves.
I'm hoping they do. That's just how it goes. It's better to have a little bit of hope. But now they're gonna go back over towards that Baron here. This should just be a free secure. They don't have any of that easy snap engage from the Rel, and it doesn't look like they have the damage to kind of follow up with that. So I think this comp has kind of outrun its usefulness since you weren't able to get the Aurora out to a huge roaring lead over this Camille. And now, yeah, with the Hexdrinker in pocket, wow. Look at that gold difference in the top side. 3k, 2k in the mid lane, and 800 or so in the AD carry position. So or I guess 1,200 after the Baron. So yeah, I mean it's pretty cut and dry across the board here for TMG here.
All right, we're approaching 6 Baron. It's gonna very much extend that gold lead. We have 4 minutes for the Elder Dragon, and the Ziggs with the Baron buff should be able to take turrets left, right, and center here shortly. So it's just going to be Team G trying to line their pockets right now, and maybe Kiwi getting caught out. He gets stunned up himself. Jinroot's not going to be able to find much of anything. But basically Team G's game plan. Let's find some turrets. Let's find an Ahri randomly into the bot side. Yep. That wasn't a part of the game plan, but you know, sometimes you adapt and improvise. But they're going to continue to push in toward this bot lane, and they're going to have that mid lane presence as well. This bot lane turret is absolutely free. There's no one here for about 1,000 yards. And they just want to extend their gold lead. That's all this Baron realistically wants to do. They're up on kills. They don't need to kill you. They don't need to fight. They already know that they can win the fights. They already know that they can do this. They want to put this game into the dirt. And how do you do that? You build leads on your opponent. And actually, getting a kill here might be able to help you do that. Indigo can procs the barrier. It's going to be a double man. Magnus Storm into the Mega Inferno Bomb coming straight on down. Knock up, able to find this Rel. But the Divide Between Worlds is able to help slay out this Udyr. Curtain Call coming on down, but there's a lot of tanky targets. And the one you're hitting is Stitch. Normal Split Breed goes in for the kill, maybe on a Stitch, but Petty's able to find it. And the Unbound Soul TV coming on in, looking like a little bit of a flank one. Nair maybe caught out on top of that. Wow, great dodge there out of Petty. Nair uses the Hextech Ultimatum and ends up getting shut down by the Jhin. A kill on straight over to Indigo. Jhin Stair able to snap up onto Petty. That's the AP carry. Has to burn the flash out, but ends up falling to his anyway. The Leandri's burn. It does so much for this team. Kerrigan, that one was a little bit questionable. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I do understand where you're coming from. It's so loud, it's so fed right now on this Yone, but a great fight win for Dorado at a point where we felt like they really couldn't fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say a bit of an overextension. It really seems like a lot of these fights are started off by Clear just running in and going a little bit too far, and then, you know, it's left to the other members of TMG to kind of pick up the pieces. The rest of them have been doing pretty well. I'd say all of Dorado has, you know, they've been fighting out their best, but when you're dealing with a Camille and a fed Yone, it's just so hard to play these kind of melee-oriented champs. Jhin walks into it.
Finds Indigo. He gets the Q3 knockup as well, and Mr. Kiwi might be next on the list. TP's going to be committed. This one's going to be the Ziggs coming out of spawn. That damage. Nope, Nair and Ziggs. They TP to the same ward. They absolutely played me for a fool. It's a double kill going straight on over to the Yone. The Mega Inferno Bomb's going to be able to find the execution straight onto the Rel. As flash over the wall. It's so loud. Maybe trying to find an execution onto Kerrigan. As Zem forced to go W under the turret. Divide Between Worlds onto this Camille should go down, but is it going to without taking 2 with them?
Sacrificial play pretty much seals the deal here for Dorado here in game 1. A little bit unfortunate there for Indigo, walking straight into the very tip of the Yone ultimate. It's going to seal his fate as TMG takes a pretty commanding game 1 here. No real kind of stoppage points. I feel like they really had control pretty much the entire way through. They did give up the Grubs and the Rift Herald, but that does not matter too much at all.
No, it does not. Team G take the first game in this series, and wow, what a performance it was. Yeah, well, we gotta talk about it. It is fearless, but it's not full fearless, if I remember correctly. So just all these champions that both teams picked, neither one of those teams can pick those champions again. But if Dorado wanted to pick Yone, they can pick Yone. Just True Minded can never pick Yone again.
It's Bandit, right? That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's probably what they're going to be the angle out of TMG. Honestly, you know,
keep it simple.
They hopefully we'll see. And maybe TMG is real watching Worlds, and nobody in Worlds is banning Yone. So you know.
Yeah, you just pick Cassio or I don't know, Urgon.
Yeah, look how well Cassio worked out today.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it worked out great. They should have won that game. Let's be real. Shout out FlyQuest. No.
Viper diff.
Yeah, well, actually. Yeah, and I don't really have too many things to say about this first game. I'd say that it just felt like Dorado didn't really have a plan going in. It felt like they drafted their champions and said, "We're content with this. We're gonna try and just brawl it out as our champs do." But they didn't really have a point of focus or how they want to execute the team fights. I think the most apparent thing to me was in that one fight where they just burned the Trundle ult off of Udyr kind of just walking in. Like, you need to have a little bit more coordination. Ari Charm needs to be down before you commit something like a Trundle ultimate. It needs to be something guaranteed value because it is single target in nature, and you have both these team fighting comps. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate there, but I'm sure you can make adaptations for game 2, and I'm excited to see them.
Yep. Well, we will have a lot new different champions coming into game number 2, but will True Minded be able to take this series 2-0? Will Dorado bounce back and take us to a game number 3? We'll be right back.
Side to side, without you by my side, my side, my side, without you by my side. One time from side to side. Peekaboo, I see you, peekaboo, I see you, looking at me, looking at you. Hold up, where you going? What you doing? Who you seeing? What you need? What you want? I said, without you by my side, my side, my side. Without you by my side. One time from side to side. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside. Without you by my side, I can't go outside.
me, nothing has been the same. There's no time for regret, but I remember how I slept in your chest. I want to forget it, take a breath and leave you away, away. But it's not that easy, 'cause you make me miss you again, again. If you want, just come. If you want, just come. Don't leave me again, leave me again. If you want, just come. If you want, just come. Don't leave me again, leave me again. Leave me again. There's no time for regret, but I remember how I slept in your chest. I want to forget it, take a breath and leave you away, away. But it's not that easy, 'cause you make me miss you again, again. If you want, just come. If you want, just come. Don't leave me again, leave me again. If you want, just come. If you want, just come. Don't leave me again, leave me again. Leave me again.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Welcome back, everybody. We're sitting on a match point in this best of three, as you know, in Team G, looking pretty phenomenal at the moment. You know, this team looking very well choreographed with one another. Now, Dorado, you know, a team we're expecting to come out and kind of maybe pummel this game. You know, Dorado's kind of proven themselves. They made playoffs time and time and time again. Team G hasn't really proven that yet. They might be looking to make that kind of run this year with this squad and kind of prove themselves this time around. And honestly, I'm here for it.
Yeah, and they showed a good game on game one. I'd say I didn't really have any problems with their actual execution in this last one. They kept it a pretty tight ship. Of course, a bit of overextensions every now and then, but that just kind of happens when you feel like you're winning a little bit. Hey, might as well go in. So we did see a little bit of that, but I wanted to bring up one thing. At least these strong picks that we did see in this last game, the Camille, the Yone, the Aurora as well, all are gone because this is going to be true fearless here coming into this game 2. So means we're going to get a whole new set of champions, and I wouldn't be surprised if the bans remain the same. So expect Syndra, Lilia, Sejuani, like these champs that traditionally just get banned all the time, just to stay on the ban table, and we'll just have a whole new deck to kind of play around with.
Now, if I remember correctly, the Skarner didn't get banned. I don't think Skarner got banned last draft. I don't remember correctly, but that's a champion that one of these two teams, with the Sejuani being taken off the board, Udyr not playable, Viego getting banned away. The Skarner could be something that we're about to default to here in game number 2. One of these two teams wants to pick it on up if they play around it. I personally play Skarner. I love Skarner. I think he's a phenomenal champion. I think he's great for team fighting. And so I think it would be awesome to see the champion come on out. It has been nerfed a little bit this patch, but still very viable. At least A tier, if not S tier, still in and on this patch. So it could be a pick that we see in the mid lane. We've got Orianna still on the table. Syndra, if it doesn't get banned. I've seen a little bit of an uptick in Vex play this patch. Seems like she seems to be pretty strong. But I'm not really sold on it. I'm not gonna
I'm
lie.
not a believer either.
I'm not a believer either. I think that it's just copium and early patch like copium. I think it's just early patch copium.
It's okay. It got played in Worlds twice, so surely it must be good.
True, yeah, surely. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, going on, I mean, I think there are still a lot of picks that are left up. I expect Kasante to still be banned as well. That champ should not be let through. Just too tanky right now. I feel like there isn't enough damage in the game to be able to handle a Kasante in particular. Talia going to get taken off the table. I'm pretty sure that was that first ban for TMG on the other side. Now they have swapped sides, so Dorado's going to be keeping the Viego out of the hands of Clear here. So keeping that strong power pick out of the way. And moving on, Thresh,
no,
and again.
definitely. Thresh getting banned away seems like a power pick on this patch, maybe. Or maybe just someone from Dorado is really good at playing that Thresh. Lilia taken off the board as well. Look like they're trying to heavy prio target this jungle at the moment. I mean, the Udyr did kind of carry a little bit with those engages. Died a couple times towards the later half, but it still allowed him to come out on top on the following in right behind his fearless leader. Now we're going to get a triple jungle ban. If so, what do we ban? Sejuani's still on the board. No, Gwen going to be taken away. Also a very strong jungle pick at the moment. But Sejuani on the board and Syndra. So two very strong champions if we want to pick up either one of those, or maybe we want to go for something else. The Jinx B1. Okay, it's like we're playing 3 patches ago right now. Jinx being a heavy prio being one for the side of TMG. Now, how will Dorado respond to this? AD carries, I'm thinking of Ashe. Like you were just talking about not that long ago. Very, very strong still in this game. Cannot play the Alistar, cannot play the Rel. So what can we default to? Well, we've got Nautilus. We've got the Rakan. Could be very good. And there's the Skarner, like I was mentioning.
Yeah, Skarner gonna get locked in. No surprises. Post nerf, who cares? It doesn't matter. Your champion still exists because your skills are really what carries that champion. And Karthus is gonna be the instant answer. I imagine going straight into that jungle since Skarner not exactly the fast farmer he used to be when he first released, so definitely needs a lot of time to get through those camps. And Karthus kind of specialty there. Gonna see the Braum, a pick that does get often banned in 4-5 here, so nice to lock it away before anything else happens. Curious what the support pick will be here. The Ashe a little bit exposed, I'd say, right now, so it's going to go with that Enchanter combo. Melio is a very interesting pick alongside an Ashe, I'll say that.
I don't know if this is the best pick here, because the only really value you get is like, yeah, Melio ult is great. It's burst healing, and you got a lot of shielding power. You got the soccer ball toss where you have a little bit of disengage, but like, I mean, I guess you can cleanse the Braum stun, or you can cleanse the Jinx chompers. Other than that, like, I still feel like with this Skarner, like Recon or some sort of engage would have been a little bit better. You need another engage pick here, and it's going to have to go into the top lane now because Skarner cannot solo engage against this team composition. He's going to get absolutely mollywopped.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the
There we
Hui locking in there, and yeah, I mean Hui, kind of a strong pick, has been seeing a lot more play recently compared to anything else, and but I will say does pretty bad into Braum in general. You do get all your skills blocked out, but Aurelia, which was on the ban table for Dorado in the last game, gets locked in immediately, probably going towards top if I had to guess, but I'm not sure. Oh, double flex. Oh.
Okay, yes, thank you for double flex. I'm going to consider this a top lane pick because of the fact that it was banned in the second round, and I believe this is going to be a Nair champion, and the Darius is going to be locked up again. It didn't really work out that well for Blue. So I don't really know. We'll see. I think that they think that this is Irelia top, and they want to fight life stealing with life stealing essentially. A lot of heal versus a lot of heal. That's what they want to do in the top lane. Let those two duke it out. In the mid lane, Jace v Hui. Now Jace can get the better of this if he can get. He's not really going to get any help from the Karthus except for maybe an ult, a little bit of burst damage. We can find an angle, maybe like a flash in behind on the way, knock him in. Maybe if the Hui doesn't have flash, and he can find some sort of solo kill that can help him snowball away. But I'm looking at a little bit of a mix-up here for TMG. You've got some pretty strong early game with some pretty strong mid to late game on this Irelia, Braum, but Karthus, Jinx, Jace is kind of strong early, but also kind of really mainly spikes after the first couple items in the mid game. And Jinx and Karthus don't really play the game until the mid to late game. So
yeah,
we're on the other side, Dorado is basically an overall all well-rounded team composition for a majority of the game states, except for late game where Darius is going to fall off.
I'd say the biggest concern for me is actually going to be side laning in the mid game. You have the Karthus ult as a support for the side of TMG, and you have two champs that kind of excel. If you match the Jace with the Hui, I feel like Hui is going to get absolutely mollywopped in these side lanes post like 15 minutes. So I'd be pretty scared if you are going to send your Hui on a solo adventure to kind of clear these waves. And then Aurelia, same thing, also does pretty well into Darius after you acquire Bork. So I'd be pretty concerned for the mid game, and that should scale perfectly into that late game. So I do give a little bit of an edge here to TMG. Dorado does have a very nice engage tool with the help of the Ashe and the Skarner. So I think if they avoid team fighting too much on TMG, they should come out on top. But that has not been the trend in that first game. So we'll see if they can, play a bit more controlled and really establish their space here to take us 2-0 over Dorado. But it's you gotta wait and see.
Yeah, and this Dorado team comp kind of pivoted a little bit mid-draft. You had Ashe, you had Skarner pick, you had Milio. Okay, this is kind of an in-your-face brawl style heavy composition. Then you start seeing the way that TMG drafted. They've got the Aurelia, they've got the Jace, they've got Jinx. And so your composition from Dorado went from a kind of 5v5 on top of your face composition to a pick composition because these players are going to be spread out like hell. I mean, good luck. Aurelia is going to be dashing in and out and around. Jinx is going to be behind the Braum. Karthus is probably going to be off to the side somewhere. Jace is going to be probably 1v1ing someone in the side lane or off to the side somewhere. So you're going to have to play this composition as a pick comp if you are Dorado now. And with all of these elements hitting at you from different angles on the side of TMG, it's going to be very difficult to kind of combine these ultimates. Skarner ult going to be hard if he can probably will be able to, because let's be honest, these two teams will probably eventually 5v5 on top of each other. But Skarner ult, it's going to be difficult to find more than one member, so they're probably going to solidify that for pulling someone out into the composition of Dorado and then fighting that solo target, or playing off of an Ashe arrow getting hit and fighting that solo target as a full unit.
Yeah, and I'd say for this early game, the big power point to kind of watch is in this top side. You have two offensive summoners as him with the Ghost, and Nair with the Ignite. So it's going to be pretty evenly matched. Nair not going to start with the Q, so not going to get those full stacks. Wants to make sure it does not get ran down on level 1, so has to play a bit more safe. instead of just going for a full brawl, which I'm honestly not sure if Aurelia wins that on level 1.
No, no, it really does not win.
Yep, there you go. So, yeah, very advisable to just go E there. You drop a couple minions just because of your positioning, and you move on with your life.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so things in this bot lane, I can't really, as we have our little bit of a split cam here, I didn't really get the spot where the junglers were pathing to.
Looks like top side, from what I
I
remember.
was gonna say, given these angles, it looks like that the Karthus actually is pathing toward the top side. Yep, is pathing up toward the top side. Udyr, or not Udyr. I keep thinking
Skarner?
we're talking about last game. Skarner is pathing top to bot. So wants to play around this Ashe, wants to play around this Milio, try and get some lockdown onto Petty and Stitch. But this is going to be a really difficult lane to gank if you are the Skarner. It's going to be pretty hard. You do have the more heavy potential kill lane into the bot lane, as you can see here from the poke damage just straight away from Indigo onto Stitch and Petty. But trying to gank a Jinx and a Braum is going to be really, really hard.
Yeah, and also I'd say one thing: this Karthus clear is pretty slow. I think it's one of the slowest Karthus clears I've seen in a while. 325, still on that blue buff, chugging away. So not exactly coming out to a roaring start here. Skarner already finished at least most of the clear. I think the Krugs are still up since level 3 is acquired. Splitbreed's gonna spot Karthus on the ward, but gonna go straight into this top side.
They're
Azem,
both spotted. Irelia has the full passive stacks all the way. Ignite ticking away
I'll
on
take down
Hazem.
split screen.
Hazem, can he be able to land the Q toss? Now first
After
the
this.
flash on the way, and now the Skarner's gonna be able to get floated up, but first what's gonna be able to come down as Hazem's gonna flash on in with the rolling blade. Can they get the kill? The blade stack's ticking away onto the Karthus flashing for. It's gonna be a double kill for Splitbreed.
yeah, well played there. Splitbreed able to get the wall slam there onto the Aurelia, so that was extremely well played. They're able to get the first blood, and now you have the ball rolling for the Darius, which is really all that matters for this early game. So bit of a slower Karthus clear is going to actually result in a bit of action that goes in favor of Dorado here. So, well played there. They find their window and take advantage of it. Now going to be able to pivot towards this bot side to at least grab up this second scuttle.
Root is going to end up landing on the Stitch. Splitbreed going to suppress him, slam him up against the wall, but It's So Loud is there. Root comes down off the Braum passive. Exhaust going to be straight onto Kerrigan. Can they continue to fight this though? No, Kiwi is in the area. Has the healing. Flees straight onto the Braum into the E-Toss. Not enough damage though onto Stitch. Kerrigan not able to find the kill off, so it's going to be a 1-for-0 trade out. Skarner ends up going down, and It's So Loud, the carry during last game, already has a little bit of gold in their pocket, so I don't know. I mean, Jace is a different champion than Yone. Maybe though, Kerrigan or It's So Loud can do the same exact thing though.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a little bit of an extension. Splitbreed thought, hey, with the stun, maybe we have enough damage, but you're right there with the Hui. And if you know anything about Hui, before level 6, you really don't have burst. You're playing mostly as a poke mage, and like, once someone's low, yeah, you can play a bit more aggressive, but really is not ideal. And the Jace's consistent damage with the help of the W really working out here. Hazem bullying Nair. As expected, this is how this should go after a first kill, but honestly, the back wasn't the best. You have Ruby Crystal and a cloth armor, so nothing too powerful. Can't overcommit here for Hazem to actually just, face roll the keyboard and play Darius as God intended. Yeah, just going to stack up this wave. Extremely hard for Nair to CS from now on, and 10 CS already up for Hazem.
Yeah, now we're gonna kind of eventually see the faults of Irelia here. Getting set behind early makes this laning kind of a struggle, where Irelia can pretty much be somewhat dominant in typically throughout the laning phase. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of rotation to the top side. Not going to get spotted out on the vision. Hook ends up landing Hazem, but two members are right around the corner. The stun's not able to land, but the Braum passive should be able to. Stun comes on out. They're going to continue to just pile on down onto this Darius. He should be able to heal up with a little bit of one more Q. Probably pinging the Skarner to be able to come help him. Slow lands. Can they give Nair the kill? No! It goes on over to the Karthus. Should be able to free a free start up for these Void Grubs. Meanwhile, the Skarner looking mid lane. Maybe able to catch out. It's So Loud. Suppresses him. Not able to find him up against the wall though. Now he maybe has to peel for his team. Root ends up landing onto Kerrigan, who commits the ultimate. Stitch is able to come in with the Braum shield in the nick of time, and the Karthus ult's going to be coming down as well. Not able to find the kill off the empowered Q blast. But they should pick up the first set of Void Grubs and at least save their mid laner.
Yeah, really good roam there from Stitch, and Petty didn't even get really hurt at all for it. Did have to drop 2 waves, it looks like, so a little bit of a CS diff, but you'll definitely take that to get your Karthus in the game, just boot it up, and the Darius shut down just a little bit, so I'd say a great play overall there from TMG, and they're going to equal up this gold lead that Dorado initially had, so well played there.
Bam Scepter is on the board for the Irelia. Now we're going to see Nair take a little bit more aggressive trades. While the Darius first item, the Blade Steel Caps, even though had that early advantage, has this early CS lead, still building for that tankiness, not trusting the matchup against this Irelia. Irelia does have Ignite comparatively to the Ghost. The Ash Arrow does find it so loud in the mid lane. Can anything really capitalize off of it, though? You see that the way Kerrigan trying to put out as much damage as possible, not able to find much. The blades end up getting tossed. Hazem is with the Ghost, able to just dash away from fearlessly everything. The Karthus wall goes on up, and the Darius Q heals him straight back to a quarter of HP, which will end up saving out his life.
Skittles are just not landing here for clear, so gonna just not be able to secure that kill. Hazem is gonna be greedy and
Round two?
stay on the wave.
Round 2, Nair, you have to land this stun. Oh.
Yeah, not gonna kind of line up the wall, but they're gonna deny the waves either way, and that's still very beneficial. It's so loud, ticking away. Kerrigan
Leave,
going for
man.
the
What,
2.
what? Just
Woo.
leave.
Gets caught on it, so right there, it's so loud, gonna go down. Well played there for Splitbreed, using the time that Hazem is buying at least to equal out something. Now that's 3, 4 waves maybe dropped here, so that is really, really disastrous here on the top side.
Yeah, most definitely. Meanwhile, bot lane's just continuing to get pushed on in. And here's how It's Allowed ends up getting caught out, you know?
Yeah,
Skarner
nice
comes
over
straight
the
on
wall.
Over the wall. Not able to see it in the nick of time. It's Allowed. Engage just maybe trying to trade out 1-for-1, but then decides a little bit too late. I can't win this. Trying to back out of the fight. And then, yeah, stuck around a little bit too long. I guess trying to dodge out the snipe from Kerrigan. Either way, he retreats though. Skarner probably wraps around and picks up the kill anyway.
Yeah, and I'd say pretty well played there. Splitbreed finding those unique angles. I remember when I played a bit of competitive, mid laners hate getting hit by that gank angle.
What an
Definitely
arrow.
not. Yeah, arrow straight down mid, trying to find it so loud, maybe for a cheeky second kill in a row, and that would have been pretty bad for keeping this Jace down. Only 12 CS down. Kerrigan still not having the easiest time in lane, but that was kind of what was expected. You're kind of trading your team fight power of having the Hui for a bit of that lane pressure, which is why you don't see it as much in pro, I'd say, because it is a little bit of a tricky champion to pull off since you are so kind of exposed in mid. It's so loud. Bit of shove in here. Crash a nice wave. Kerrigan not in the area, so pretty well suited for them. Gonna roam towards the top side. Azem currently pushing the wave, but respecting it nonetheless, so most likely won't have anything happen, but they might just go for the force here to kind of just keep this Aurelia ball rolling.
Yep, It's Allowed on a ward. Hazem knows, and It's Allowed with the waves getting shoved on into him is forced to go back down to the mid lane. Now the second set of Void Grub's going to be spawning here realistically very shortly. We won't have another dragon fight for about 2 minutes. Zen with a great hook is just going to boop away Nair, maybe take away that perfect stun positioning that he was looking for on this Aurelia. Meanwhile, mid lane, Karthus is lingering around. Splitbreed maybe wanting to find that sort of engage straight on to the enemy jungler, maybe trying to contest these Void Grubs. Has the mid lane prio, and the support has roamed on up as well, looking to fight around this Milio. Great stun ends up landing onto the Skarner. Skarner going over the wall though is going to be able to find Nair. Slit presses him straight up against the wall into the impale. Irelia unable to do much of anything in his end with the execution. Is going to be able to find the one the Karthus is forced to burn the flash away, but the whale's going to be able to slow him on up, and it's a double kill for this Karthus. There's an Ash Arrow. It beams directly onto It's So Loud, and the way damage is there for the burst as well. And it's a super mega death rocket, not executing realistically anyone, and it's a 3-0 trade-off. Dorado on top in game number 2, taking the second set of Void Grubs.
Yeah, Dorado well played there. They found their openings. The CC landed. They knew Aurelia had no flash from the prior engagement, and they really capitalized there. And now they find themselves back with a 2K gold lead, just about. I would like to bring attention to Melio's items currently. You're never running out of mana. Let's get this clear. Yeah, I don't know if you need this many forbidden idols. I'll
Uh,
say that.
oh,
Yeah. Either way, 1K gold lead in the top side and 500 in the jungle. So you're seeing where that gold lead really lies, and then obviously you got 400 or so in the bot lane. So the Jinx is definitely still in the game, but I'd like to see a little bit of focus towards that side. But I guess it's so hard to gank with this Braum Jinx setup into the Melio in particular. So definitely making it hard for them to play around any other lanes. So Team G gonna have to play towards that mid game since I don't think they have the grounds to stand on for the rest of this early game.
yeah, no, I don't really disagree. Second Dragon is going ahead and spawning up, and you see Split Breed already within the area. Has the bot lane prio, can get this mid lane prio carry and hard shoving in this next wave. And they're definitely going to be looking to take this one for free. The Karthus has been spotted out on the top side, so realistically, there's going to be no contestation coming on out. So Dorado, last game around, lost out both first and second set of Void Grubs, but were able to take all the dragons realistically. But Team G still able to come out on top. Not nearly enough damage in the back pocket of that Jinx to be able to find an execution there. Level up a little bit more, and maybe it will be the second time around able to get that one. But a great position you're sitting in right now if you are Dorado, because you have a set of Void Grubs yourselves. You have both dragons. Rift Herald will be spawning very here shortly. You can play for that, and you've got realistically 3 winning lanes. And this is essentially this exact situation, except for, a little bit of a reverse here. That the 3 winning lanes point was the part that True Minded Gaming was sitting at this last game around. Oh my god, that actually, I think that, no, it would have missed. Okay, I was gonna say that if Irelia didn't recall any faster, that maybe could potentially stop a recall there, but it does a little bit of zoning and at least recognizes that, hey, the Rift Herald has not been started yet, so we can continue to clear up some camps.
Yeah, and they're just gonna keep it chill. I will say both teams requiring 3 grubs of their own, so we won't see any of those Void Mites going around the Rift here. Skarner looking towards mid here. It's so loud, kind of in a bad
We saw
position.
this once before.
Has
Can he
flash.
fall for it again? Stunned straight up against the wall. It's gonna be straight on into the whales. Can he land the root though? Pulls him on in, knocks him up airborne, and Split Brain finds that kill too. They want this prio. They want to go for that Rift Herald. The Karthus still not fully online yet. Has the Faded Ashes, has Darksteel, has Sork Shoes, has not completed an item. Whereas everybody else into the game, except for the Jinx at the moment, has completed an item. Needs to get that online very, very shortly. Meanwhile, we in the bot lane, we have a fight going on down. Indigo has no mana, so just up to the Ash Autos to be able to find a kill here. And it's not going to be enough just yet. Meanwhile, Skarner on the top side, still looking to get that prio for the Rift Herald. Looking for a potential gank onto Nair. Flash forward into the hook. TP's coming on in to potentially save Nair, who's burns first to the flash of the blades. They're going to end up landing. Gonna get the stun off, though. Yep. Able to find one, able to find 2, but it's a 2-man impale trying to bury them straight on over to the turret. But it's not going to be enough. It's a double kill for It's So Loud onto the Jace. And this is a player you definitely want to get back into the game, and he's doing it in style.
Yeah, well played there. I mean, the good TPs, they weren't aware that they would just get one-shotted like that. Jace is pretty strong here with that opportunity. Just gonna make sure that the Darius goes down immediately, not able to get any of those resets. It looked like a great engage here for Split Breed, but another play that kind of goes against them. And now the gold is even somehow after that play, plus whatever happened in the bot lane. So, I really think it's now the Karthus is getting pretty strong. You do have a little bit of reversal here, though.
Oh, well, bye-bye, It's So Loud. It was, oh, okay. He lives. Kerrigan maybe hesitates a little bit, thinking that the ultimate was going to be able to find the kill. Not able to find the smite there, or the snipe there either.
Yeah, and It's So Loud saves the flash to in the last play, which I was going to critique, but now using it to actually survive another play. So I'd say some would say worth.
Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Skarner looking like he wants to come down. Maybe finally some action in this 80 carry lane. The tower is extremely weak. Chomper's going to be able to come on out. It roots up this Ashe. Petty trying to kill off the turret, but will not be able to. Give this one on over to the Ashe. Yes, thank you, Skarner. It gives that 80 carry finally a kill. Finally, in that of both of these games, we have some action coming out in the bot lane pre 20 minutes. And we have about a minute before this next dragon. Now, this one will be soul point for Dorado, so it makes quite sense why Splitbreed was in the bot lane looking for a gank here. Petty, obviously, you're in a 2v1 scenario there. You gotta know that just give up that turret. Your Jinx, now you're kind of already set farther behind than you realistically want to be when just by loading up into the draft, you're already kind of behind and playing for the later game unless you get some assistance. Meanwhile, Splitbreed still roaming around into the bot side jungle, as the Karthus has lingered into the area as well. Waste taking a recall, will have the TP though for this dragon fight, so it will not be a numbers advantage for the side of TMG if they even decide to contest this one. Now, we talked about things are looking even, and they pretty much are across the board. It's going to realistically come down to who can scale and take these team fights a little bit better. While Karthus now looking to help maybe the Jace push out this bot lane and regain prio into the river. We might have our first full 5v5.
Yeah, Karthus able to dodge away on the gank before. Not gonna get caught here. They're looking for Splitbreed. Splitbreed's gonna walk away here, and now it's just gonna be a nice 5v5 here.
Kiwi.
McKiwi.
Oh, just barely able to dodge out that, and flashes away from the aerial ultimate, but it hits two into the backside, forcing out the flash from Kerrigan. Can they continue to run anyone down though? Skarner coming in for the fight now, gets rooted on up as Karthus goes back out over the wall with the blast cone, but Stitch gets caught out and impaled by the Ashe arrow. Now Hazem with the ghost going straight on into this fight. Nair is trying to find some sort of engage, but goes down immediately. It's going to be a double kill for Hazem on this Darius, and Soul Point once again picked up for Dorado.
What a botched engage there from TMG. It looks like they had the free pick onto Mr. Kiwi and just misses it. And then they overextend way too hard. They commit like two flashes, it looks like. Or not even a single flash. They don't commit anything. They just want to use their ultimates to actually get through here. So you see right here, Mr. Kiwi is going to walk right through. This should just be a free kill, but not able to find it. Then the ultimate comes through. Aurelia doesn't have flash to close the gap here and get on those three members with that mark on them. The ultimate comes through from the Hui. It's stalling so much time, and Splitbreed's going to find them on the backside. Not able to find the suppression here. And Karthus gets over the wall, but now Hazem has a window here, pops Ghost, and just going to get the reset. And after that first initial reset, it's kind of hard to get back in this fight because you just don't have the resources from committing it so early. Stun's going to barely miss, and yeah, it's just clean up from there. Pretty well played there for Dorado.
Yep, it was looking all pretty good for the side of TMG, but in the blink of an eye, it went straight for Dorado. And now they're sitting on the Soul Point. They have a 2k gold lead though, so the game's nowhere near being closed on out. Not just yet. Petty on this Jinx is going lethality, it looks like. Maybe putting into Collector next year. I feel like it's a little late in the game personally, but you never knock it till you try. Is that there? That Ashe arrow, at least on the minimap, looked like it definitely hit that Jace. But it's allowed. I think he's a little bit tired of getting stunned by Ashe arrows. Stitch the one eating it that time around. It's allowed eating about 2 to 3 of them, I think, so far in this game at the moment. But scaling is still there for TMG, so game's not out of it just yet. They're only down about 2k gold. Meanwhile, top side, we have a little bit of a turret dive going straight onto Nair. The Impale ends up getting dodged on out, and Aurelia is playing this pretty phenomenally, but I'm sorry, Hazem just champ gapped you.
Yeah, don't play Aurelia. No, I'm kidding. If you actually are good at Aurelia, it's not the worst pick, but Darius is showing to be a great pick, especially with the acceleration in the early game, and then a sudden gold injection from the last fight. So feeling pretty good about this one. Just gonna push out that top side. They know they can dive for free, so pretty well played. And Dorado's gonna extend this lead now. Still 2k, so they aren't coming out to a roaring lead, and it doesn't feel as dominant as it should, I feel. So I'm still just waiting on that. Petty is going to slow up Hazem, but no real threat on this Darius with no other CC around.
He is upset.
Not going to be able to hit it, though.
Third time's the
Now
charm.
clear, walking in. Might be able to get the wall. Gets the speed up from the Dre.
Charm. Procs the bone plating. Wall slow comes on down. Can they find Hazem if he 2v3s this? If he 1v2s this. No way, Ashero ends up landing. He's going for it. Q! No! The shutdown comes out. And the God King Darius. You know why? It's because he doesn't have the $200 chroma on the
True.
skin. So,
Skin gap.
Meanwhile, we have a TP coming on in. This one's going to be It's Allowed coming over the wall. Maybe trying to find Kiwi. Meanwhile, stunned up will be the shutdown. Oh, the Jace just absolutely steals that from over the wall. He said, there's a shutdown on the way. Yoink, that one's mine. I'm your carry this game. And, you know, the Karthus is pretty much getting scaled on up too. Has those 5 Darksteel stacks, has the double burn item, so it's starting to come online. And this Baron has gone ahead and gotten started. Now, they could find an angle to contest this. The health bars are extremely weak. They have no vision though. This is potentially a really bad angle. Karthus is really low. Split Braid able to find him. And it's a 3-man impale. Indigo's there with the Ash Arrows as well. The Bramble might not be nearly enough, but stunned up on the Split Braid. The Jinx is getting excited now. And it's popping off. And it's a complete 180 for TMG. They come back out on top, but can Hazem carry this as Ghost into the back pocket? He's got a 1v4 if he decides to take it, but does not take a step forward. And what looked like a fight about to go into the favor of Dorado. Maybe TMG took a step a little bit too far forward. Nah, Jinx got excited and It's So Loud absolutely popped off.
Yeah, great. The flank there from Nair means that Indigo just has no option but to move forward there. Gets caught a little bit by the Jinx damage there. And with your 80 carry down, they just had nothing left in the fight. And, you know, they just forced them through. You know, you don't have that bulky Darius to kind of harbor any kind of protection here for any of your carries. Yeah, they just go down. So I'd say very well played from TMG. And now they find themselves back in the lead. And it's a pretty comfortable position to be in since we've already talked about how hard it's been to kind of find these engages besides the Ash Arrow for
Hold it, no.
Dorado.
We're sitting in a very crucial spot in the game right now. Ash Arrow, it ends up landing. Who is that though? That looks like it's Nair. That's the Aurelia. That's one that you kind of don't realistically care. Gets hit by that. But look at this flame from It's So Loud though. It's mesmerizing. Split Breed Impale goes wide. Forces the flash up a Split Breed. The Super Mega Death Rocket. Can he get the shutdown? Yes. They find Split Breed. And another Jinx W lands. Stitch is the only one extremely weak. Because them trying to get into this fight has the Ghost proc, trying to put out as much damage as possible, but is not able to find much of anything at the moment. Kerrigan misses these spell shots, but is able to find Stitch in the long run. The Karthus ultimate. Look at the damage. It's insane. The Kiwi is trying to stun up as much as possible. Hazem gets slowed by the Jinx W. Can he get hit by one more though? Able to dodge out that one. And forces the flash to Indigo. Stun. And it's Hazem falling. The Darius is not able to get much off into these fights anymore because it's no longer 1v1s. It's no longer 1v2s. Now you're fighting the entire side of TMG, and It's So Loud wants Kerrigan, but unable to find them. And it should be soul denied for Dorado. TMG should be able to claim their first dragon of the game. Their health bars are extremely weak. They're gonna maybe have to take a recall. Karthus is gonna be back on the line soon. Split Breed is beelining toward the dragon right now. I don't think you start this. Oh no, this could be a throw from TMG. Split Breed should know. No, he's just going to give. It looks like he might just give.
You can't really, especially because of how these fights have been going. You've been seeing the Jace and the Jinx pokers actually making such a big impact on how these fights end up starting. Whether it's Indigo getting poked out a bit, Kerrigan especially has been taking a lot of these Jace Qs. And when it comes to it, Hui needs HP to kind of weave in and out on the abilities here. So I'd say so far Dorado kind of misplaying a bit, and they've really let this lead slip after they had such a commanding lead after that top lane dive.
This is going to be one for the ages, Golden. I gotta tell you, if TMG come back and win this, this is absolutely mesmerizing to me. The Karthus almost has the Rabadon finished, and that is going to be a... Okay, so I mean, I think you mentioned this before. The Jace just mollywops Hui into the side lane, which is exactly what just ended up happening. It's Allowed almost ended up dying if we look at the health bar, but at the other hand, Jace does come out on top, and that's at the end of the day all that matters. So, looking at this game though, Karthus Rabadons, that's the power spike I'm looking for. If we can see how much gold he has, he needs about 1100 to be able to finish this item. So, after we go to this replay where we're going to see It's So Loud started the fight down in HP and still comes out on top on it. Oh my god, that damage was absurd.
It just tanks through it long enough to get the Q back up in that hammer form, Shift is gonna be, or Snitch is gonna be looking for the
Oh, we have a
fight
fight.
in the
Looking
jungle,
like we have
but
a
not
fight as
gonna
we
find
return.
anything. It's
Nothing
allowed
really
on the
coming up yet.
side.
It's allowed. Oh my. Oh, somebody has got to respond to this guy's flank angles. Like at some point, like as we retrace back to the dragon fight, everybody was fighting that front line where Nair was, where Petty and Stitch were. But
Oh no,
It's
Kerrigan.
allowed was just firing in queues. Oh no, Jinx gets caught on out by Indigo's Ash Arrow. No cleanse is going to be online, but the Chompers land. And can Karthus get a cleanup kill? It might be, or he might just be fuel for the fodder. No, he's able to go at least 1-for-1. That could be a Rabadon's finish off of that kill. Don't know where he's sitting at in gold terms at the moment. Yep, has finished that one off. So that's a power spike. It's a lot coming over the corner. Kiwi has no flash. That has to be communicated. That has to know. Can he find this Milio though? TP's coming on out. It's a two-man impale. Split 3 trying to hold off till Hazem can get into the fight. But he might die just beforehand. Aurelian commits the ultimate. Split 3 is down to about a quarter of HP, but has to retreat away now. It's a lot flashing on out. Hazem trying to find the kill off. Braum gets the stun onto Hazem. Darius extremely low. Aurelian's stun comes on out. Can Isola finish the kill? Yes, he can. Able to find the kill onto the Darius. So it's going to be a 2-4-3 trade-off in favor of Dorado at the time, but It's Allowed still getting these kills. And Super Mega Death Rocket, it finds Kiwi, but not enough damage to be able to get the execute even with that collector proc, but this should be the finishing blow.
Yeah, well played there from TMG, and they're just going to keep extending this lead. This Jace is pretty much uncontested at this point and just roams around the map for free. Can't really match anyone in the side lane at this point. Maybe Darius could, at least hold the wave, but Hui is really having a hard time. I saw on the bot side, just walked up to Hui. Hui just retreated all the way back to the inhib turret, so you can really see how impactful it is when the Hui is put behind a bit. And in that fight, I'll say one thing. I'm surprised Indigo just kept walking forward in the Karthus. I feel like it was a big throw there to just full commit onto the Karthus. Instead of just taking your one pick and going, you don't have to fully commit there. And I feel like a lot of things could have been different if you did still have that Ashe.
I don't disagree. Not entirely. Well, Skarner maybe trying to find something, but not able to find anything yet. On the mid lane, Ashe still has the arrow. Did it end up landing? I feel like it ended up finding Stitch. Split comes over the wall, stuns on up this Braum. That's going to be a team member down. That's a Baron team fight potential on the board. It's a 5v4, so you definitely want to look to go for a flip here. It will be spotted out with the far side altercation that it has been started. Hazem roaming up into the jungle and wants to take the 1v1 against Nair. Does actually win this 10 days out of the week at the moment. Karthus, you're walking up by yourself here, buddy, a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Gotta be a little bit careful. Meanwhile, this Baron is taken kind of slow, but it's already down to about 5k HP. It's going to end up falling. And finally, Karthus just decides to full-on commit to the pit. Way into the backside, not getting contested. Red team able to find this Baron into a two-man impale, and it's just clean sweep across the board for Dorado Gaming, off taking this Baron. Stitch getting caught out in the mid lane was the catalyst for this play. End up happening. You just cannot play that far forward against an Ashe Arrow.
Yeah, Stitch gonna get punished, and that's Baron gone for this next fight. Indigo walking forward. They want to find Stitch potentially. Not going to be able to get the turnaround here from Split. And yeah, they're going to get away with the Baron when it feels like they really had no momentum in the game. They're just going to snowball that one pick into it all and find good favors nonetheless. Kerrigan going to get slowed up. Potential chase here. Ashe Arrow coming through.
Yeah, this is not. I mean, Team G is just getting hit by Ashe Arrow after Ashe Arrow after Ashe Arrow right now. They're playing too aggressive against an Ashe at the moment and feeling like just because the enemy team's out of vision when the Ashe is out of vision, you are never safe. You need to have vision on this Ashe all the time.
Yeah, and on top of that, I feel like a lot of the item completions, like 3-item Hui is a pretty strong power pick point. Obviously, Jace sitting at 4. Nothing to really scoff at there, but the Hui definitely hurts at this point in the game. The Jinx has a very interesting build path that I don't know if I think is going to be that effective. It'll be pretty good for poke scenarios where you're just poking with Jason Jinx, but they haven't found another scenario like that since that third Drake here. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty tough here. They need to find a big kind of engage with damage-wise to actually thwart off this offense for Dorado.
Now gold's still a little bit even, although taking the turrets off of this Baron is going to be able to help them kind of try and solidify a lead here. Which Dorado, with having the soul point at a team like this, it's pretty much kind of going to be cookie cutter how the rest of this game should go ahead and pan on out. Jace has a little bit of a flank here. Maybe wants to be able to one-shot. Okay, can one-shot Kiwi, 100%. Indigo now trying to run down this. It's so loud, and maybe Split Breed ends up getting cut out. It's a two-man Impale, though. It's so loud, still firing in. Q's left, right, and center. Redemption coming in from the Milio, just trying to heal on everybody on up. And oh my, that's an Empower Q to the face of Kerrigan. You know, you want to fight her on this Jace. You want to play with him and try and win the team fights off this. But he's the lethality Jace. He's essentially, if you take a full 5v5 brawl, don't let this poke, don't play for this kind of poke damage. He's gonna go in, he's gonna kill one person and then absolutely get blown up afterward.
Yeah, but that hasn't really been the tale. I feel like Jace has been playing pretty solid throughout, but now gonna get chased down. Hazem has no ghost.
Ooh,
Nice
flashes away from the hook knock up. He's gonna be able to go 1-for-1. Nope. He ends up getting shut down into the pocket of Hazem on the Darius. Okay, yeah, that was like 4 ultimates getting thrown in that direction.
Yeah, the global is really getting committed here, and yeah, I just like to see a bit more of a tighter ship. You have the Karthus, the Jinx. These are ultimates that you could leverage in a side lane, and if you are going to play like this, you want to have at least one person shadow, at least the Jace at this point. Aurelia going to group up towards this bot side. Looks like they want to force down this turret 5v4. Kerrigan looking for it. The W will land onto the Karthus. That's a big opener.
Able to press at least one. Can he go for the Impale though? Yep, able to find Stitch and pull him away from the tower with the flashback on over. Nair commits the ultimate as well. Stitch ends up falling. It's 2-4-0. Karthus almost comes on out, but it's not going to be enough as the Redemption just heals everyone straight on back to full. Kiwi has to heal in the back pocket just for a little bit extra desperate measure as well. This is okay. Okay, Nair, that was a little desperate there, Nair. A little bit of a BM thinking that they can't hit you with a global there. But now we're at end game territory. Can Dorado Gaming just full on complete the map here? They have a set of Void Grubs themselves. 25 seconds until the Karthus is back online, so they are full fighting members strong. HP bars say a little bit otherwise. It's allowed, needs to find some sort of engage. If there's going to be an angle for TMG to kind of fight back, it's got to be now. You can't let Dorado base with all the gold they just picked up. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anything you can do.
Yeah, there's no objectives to kind of pull them away from just backing here. So with the help of the Jace poke, which, by the way, Hui's HP right now is purely 1 Jace Q. Just throwing that out there. That's 5-item Jace, so completely online. Really is the biggest threat on the side of TMG when you do consider, like, usually these kinds of comps is just like, oh, Karthus is definitely the biggest threat because Champ does a lot of damage, and doesn't matter if we kill him, he still is able to do his job, but it really hasn't been that way, and now they're going to look towards this top side. Baron up in 50 seconds, looking to get the Scuttle to at least secure some vision across the board. Going to clear out a bit of it. Hazem in the area. Indigo has the Enchanted Crystal Arrow again. Expect that to get flown through very soon, as soon as they get vision.
If this one lands, I feel like it's just gonna be, oh, Petty, unfortunately. Oh no, Petty maybe gets, oh, great chompers over the wall though, just to cancel Split Free from being able to come in for the engage onto the Jinx. Baron's up in about 20 seconds. It's fight or die now territory for TMG. You can't give up this Baron. You're down only about 3k gold, so if you give up this Baron, you could say very much farewell to your gold. You see, it's allowed. Try to snipe, maybe find Kerrigan. Feel like if he could blow up this way, maybe his team can snowball that into a team fight win. Scuttle Crab and a ward are on the Baron, so they are going to know if it does get started. No sneaky beaky like this time around. Meanwhile, Slippery maybe trying to find It's So Loud, trying to pop that Edge of Night. Desperately trying to pop that Edge of Night, but unfortunately will not be able to. Nair has a little bit of a flank going to go there onto the left-hand side. It's going to regroup and wrap around to be able to fight with the team. They need to push out this mid lane wave. Yeah, that Q does no damage to Skarner. He doesn't care about your lethality. Loud on the Jace, trying to find a wraparound angle, gonna be matched up by Kerrigan. Look at Hazem though. Hazem trying to find Petty, has Ghost, running straight for the 80 carry, doesn't get stunned on up, and Stitch has to retreat, and the Karthus is already falling, a 5v4 on the board already. Nair gets impaled, and it's just all downhill from there. Loud already on the retreat, trying to find this Darius, but will not be able to. He's just running amok in your back line. Hazem with the big plays left, right, and center in game number 2, looking to take us to a game number 3. It's so loud on the Jays, desperately tried their best, but unfortunately it was not enough. Dorado Gaming putting on their best to take us to game number 3.
Yeah, I'd say a really good performance here from Indigo on those Asheros. Felt like when those land, it really is just the team fight winners, and Dorado's going to snowball that into a kind of shaky victory, but I'd say still well done nonetheless. So, yeah, I mean, you had to leverage their side lanes as well. It felt like when there was side lanes and people committing members over there, they didn't get much across the map, or you know, they didn't actually have anyone shadow Jace effectively, so you end up going down, and yeah, TMG just not able to find it there, and a bit disappointing, I'd say, for the Aurelia performance, and I don't want to see the champion again.
Yep. Yeah, I have to agree. And my lovely previous co-caster Anti would have some very words for this Aurelia pick, as they are an Aurelia one trick. They have some very words for Aurelia in 5s. Those words being, don't pick the champion. And and so going forward, neither one of these champions, any of these champions, are pickable. And so game number 3 is going to be an absolute banger, as we are on match point for both these teams. Don't go anywhere.
town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the game ends here, whether you want it to or not. Unfortunately, so we have to get on going with match number 3. And Dorado looked pretty good there. You know, they looked pretty dominant throughout majority of that game. Team G, you know, into the later half of the stage, almost had the comeback. We were maybe about to be believers, a little bit more believing than my camera quality right now for some reason. And then, you know, Dorado, they snapped back into it. They were just like, they woke up to reality, said, hey, we're winning this game. They took it. So now, are we going to see a repeat of game number 2? Or are we going to have a Team G dominant fashion? Because so far, it's not really been kind of back and forth. It's been one team dominating over the other.
Yeah, until you know, one team gets Ash arrowed like 6 times.
Oh, yes.
The game was
Ash is gone now.
The Ash is gone. We can't see that champ anymore. Skarner also notably gone. Other than that, I mean, there weren't too many other very high priority picks for either of us. Oh, I just got more blurry. Shout outs.
I got better. Oh,
Okay.
no.
Well, you know, I think going into this next game, there are just so many options. And a lot of the champs that are still prio picks are still up. Like Syndra just went straight up, ignored throughout that entire draft. So I'd say that's a pretty big point of contention there that should be prioritized if you are TMG, especially since you do have side select.
Well, you know what I think also should be prioritized? You installing Procomps right now. Because you know why? Procomps, it's free to install and it goes on through the Overwolf client. So if you have something like, I don't know, Professor, you know, I don't even know why you would have that because Procomps is just absolutely better. You know, Pro is in the name. They use professionals to help be that sort of in-game kind of coach. If you need help with your drafting or if you need help with your team composition, it acts as a virtual assistant coach to be able to tell you how your team should be playing. And when we're in a meta of across the amateur leagues right now, where Fearless Draft is running amok, it can definitely be something to help you out and help your team level up your drafting games, especially if you're banning the same champions every time. Maybe, you know, your champion gets taken away, so now you need something else to pick. Procomps can help evaluate the meta and help you develop a team comp all around that. So go ahead, install Procomps today. There's no reason not to.
Here we are into the drafts. TMG gonna stay on that blue side. They're gonna get that first pick priority. Will it be the Syndra? Will it be something else that they leave through the bans? We'll have to see what they end up pivoting here. I will say so far it seems like It's So Loud favors those AD mids while you play an AP jungler, so I'm pretty curious what AP junglers that Dorado will let through. There aren't that many left. Brand notably still exists. Zyra I just wouldn't suggest. Even if the champ still works, Lilia gonna get banned by TMG themselves, so not gonna prioritize that much as well. Thresh gonna be a constant ban here for Dorado. They don't want to let that champion through, and yeah, it's looking pretty much exactly the same. Viego actually is a notable one that hasn't been banned yet, which could be somewhere they do end up looking towards.
Yeah, Gwen's still taking off the board. Still feel like that champion's very strong in the jungle, a little bit more than in the top side at the moment, so I definitely want to be able to take that one away. Casante, both teams sticking to the same number of bans. Now, what is this B1 going to be? Can't be Jinx. It will be Varus this time around. Okay, still sticking to the B180 carry slot. Oh, excuse me. Now, how does Dorado decide to respond? You know, last time they went with the Ashe, they went with Skarner. Do you pick something like... Okay. There's a disgusting AP build on Kog'Maw.
AP, that one.
There's a disgusting AP Kog'Maw build right now where if you get hit by like one of his Qs, it does like half your health bar. It's absolutely disgusting, and I don't know if they're gonna go for this or not. Renekton picked up is gonna throw that one over probably to the top side, but I don't know. I see Kog'Maw and I'm already like have PTSD.
Yeah, and the draft's shaking up quite a bit. You're gonna see Renekton locked in immediately, followed up by that Jack. So the top lane kind of bruisers are locked in here. Surprising to see them in a game 3 of a Fearless, that's for sure. And Nautilus is going to be the supplemental pick. They want to go for this full engaged bot lane. You have Chains of Corruption, plus, of course, Nautilus himself just is engaged ball. And then it's going to be the Lulu, so we're going back to classics. Cog Lulu, I've heard from you that this champ is OP.
Yes.
Is that right?
Lulu is best enchanter in slot right now. 100%. 100%. Lulu is the best enchanter in the game at the moment.
Yeah. Nunu getting a ban. There will be no FlyQuest shenanigans.
We don't win
unfortunately for this
those.
one. We should have win those. And then Sejuani gonna get banned away yet again. So just keeping up with these same bans. They don't want to let them through. Syndra, and then I assume Viego will be the last ban here, since I feel like a Renekton Viego combo would probably be pretty scary at this stage in the draft. But it's gonna be Sylas, another champ that's been getting a little bit more presence. Doesn't have the best ultimates on the side of TMG, but definitely still usable. So seeing that banned is not too much of a surprise. And Dorado now gonna lock in that Nocturne. Now that leaves up the Nocturne Orianna combo. That's definitely something they could look towards. And that kind of guaranteed engage against a flat, like a mobility hindered AD carry such as Varus can really be impactful. And you're gonna see TMG recognize that threat. They're gonna take away the Orianna. They don't want to give that combo over. But that leaves the options wide open, Dorado, to pick something in mid.
J4 locked up. Okay, so they have a strong.
Sombrero.
I was almost thinking that this was a Jax jungle. In the meantime, why are we drafting J4 into J4 Jack? I don't. Okay, J4 Orianna, great composition, but why are we drafting this into Lulu? In Cog Lulu, like that. I don't like it. I'm a J4 salesman, right? J4 is like my second most played jungle in the game, but like it's not gonna get that much. It's not gonna be that great against Cog Lulu. Like it's going to get poked out. It's going to get polymorphed if it tries to engage. So it's going to be realistically, can Stitch find a hook? Can Nair find an engage onto the Jarvan? Somebody needs to get onto this backline before the Jarvan can go in. If not, Jarvan's just gonna get poked out. He's just gonna get polymorphed. Like it's just going to end up happening.
Yeah, I'm a
Meanwhile-
little bit worried for TMG's damage. Actually, I don't feel like they have enough to get through all
agree
these
too, yeah.
these champions. I mean, Tristana inherently kind of tanky. Not gonna lie, Kog'Maw Lulu combo. You got Nocturne who can nullify at least one part of that combo, as well as Renekton on top of it, of course. So I'd predict that they are gonna have a pretty hard time, and that really is when I always think the fallback is you gotta rely on your top laner. And if Nair doesn't have another pop-off performance, this is going to be a pretty tough game for TMG.
So this is AP Kog'Maw 100%. Like,
Most likely, yeah.
there is no AP damage on this team.
You know,
This is
that-
AP Kog'Maw 100%.
that is true, but I've seen some random stuff with people just not drafting AP anymore, and it's like, okay, well, I guess if you feel like it, sure, go ahead. I mean, mostly it's with Smolder, of course, but Kog'Maw already kind of hybrid in nature, so I'm still curious if it'll be more of a hybrid build or still that full AP. So
Well,
since you did draft with the Lulu, I'd like to see a little bit more attack speed, but you
he
know,
went Doran Swing. Yep, full AP. And he has Comet. Yep, go in the full AP build. Okay, Petty, I see you.
Ziggs too.
Yep. Okay. Honestly though, but as we have a little bit of an engage here into the jungle, going for the invade up against this Nocturne, just shoving him out, forcing out that recall. That's gonna get a little bit of a tempo prioritization for Sprippy there. But honestly, what I was looking at, Golden, is you banned the Sylas TMG. I would have honestly liked to have seen you throw this Jax into the jungle and take Malphite top against this team.
Yeah, that could have been an angle for sure. You do have that double 80 carry, but you know, it's still a hard call to make. The Tristana was not locked in. Definitely still could have been pivoted away from. So still would have been very good into this into the Renekton as per
Well, you
usual.
also have the Orianna, and I think that against this composition, because Malphite Unstoppable Force is, well, unstoppable. It's a better ball delivery system and burst damage. If you go the AP, you could go an AP tank hybrid Malphite. It's a better burst damage ball delivery system against this bot lane and against this composition than the Jarvan Orianna.
Yeah, and now they're just gonna go into these bot and top side. No real advent of anything. You know, kind of no shenanigans occurring. I feel like it'll be a pretty chill lane both ways across. As I'm gonna go for a hook up. Oh, I'm looking at two screens at once. I said Jax just went for a hook, which is not true. Nautilus did, and yeah, now they're just
New
gonna
upgrade?
go back
Jax
to
new
trade.
I mean, he does
And
have
that would be
fishing rod.
crazy. I don't want that.
It
Let's
is a
be clear.
fishing. is he does have a fishing rod. Like, let's be honest here. It's not that hard of a rework to make.
That's true. They do have the fishing already. Yeah. Get +1 gold every time you hook someone.
Dude, that would be so broken. That
That would
actually
be so. It's almost
awful.
like that existed in the game for like 3 years and was just a turbo broken rune. I love kleptomancy.
Wait, if you go first strike and just hook someone consistently, would that like?
That's basically the same thing.
I don't know. I didn't play the game whenever that was the thing. Probably.
Oh,
So,
klepto? Oh
yeah.
yeah, you missed out big.
Oh, probably. I missed out on a
Israel,
lot.
Gangplank, man.
Trust me,
those-
trust me. I chose to play the wrong game growing up. Meanwhile, it's allowed. Maybe chose the wrong time to engage. Has the flash over the wall. Split breachers in the flash forward too. Trying to find first blood on this Tristana. Maybe wanted to give it over to the Oriana, but he's gonna take it for himself on the J4.
Yeah, well played there. Finds the angle. This is kind of what you expect from Jarvan. Early ganks to make things happen. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good for them. They're going to get this combo rolling. You want to get this Oriana accelerated, since I've seen so many games where if it's not Nocturne Oriana, the damage is just not enough to actually burst out these squishies. So getting a little bit of gold over onto the Ori, definitely a good sign. Jarvan obviously doesn't use the gold the best anymore, but it's never hurts that much when it does come to kind of warding off this Nocturne.
Nocturne going in for the invade. Fear bar is going to come on out. And he'll heal up from the Gromp. Might not nearly be enough. One more auto might be able to do it, but he gets the flag and drag his end, looking to peel for his jungler in the nick of time. Saves J4 from the invade.
Yeah, I mean, I will say Jax had to sacrifice quite a bit of lane position just to make that happen. So that's pretty rough. Kerrigan gonna see It's Allowed commit the W, so now knows no threat on him. Gonna actually just commit for this wave. But the push is in favor of It's So Loud, so should get a pretty nice back here. Gonna miss the cannon, so gonna work out pretty well here for Kerrigan as Clear goes back in to get the Wolves here and deny a bit more gold to the Jarvan. Jarvan's still sitting at level 3, 4 minutes 30 into the game. Should be able to get it off this Scuttler, but still not the quickest level up here to actually contest in this
Look,
jungle.
mid lane though, no flash on the Tristana. Could be going for another full-on engage angle. It's So Loud doesn't have the rocket in his pocket. And Split 3 finds a second kill through the mid lane.
Yeah, Clear looking for an engage, not gonna be able to get it. Was spotted on that ward in the bush, so Hazem baited it out well, made sure no threat on him, and obviously is Jax has the ward, so able to just ward hop away if anything does occur.
Oh, Nair
Nair.
going for the all-in rage meter. Going for Hazem. Oh, forces the flash out of the crocodile though. Hazem getting the better half of his top laner here in the second half of this series. Game number 2 looked pretty dominant off of that first top side gank. Able to shut down the really early, and then he snowballed his lead pretty well off of that. Now it's game number 2. Doesn't have that CS lead over the Renekton at the moment, but forcing flash out, forcing TP out early, and being able to get that kind of a lead. This wave's going to inevitably push back into him. He's got to be sitting in a very solid position.
Yeah, a little bit rough here for them. I mean, the wave will shove, so the CS will close just a bit, but it's still 20, so that's 3 waves at least, and you know, that is definitely impactful. Gonna get another free back after the recall. I'm just gonna commit a little bit more into those long swords, so I'd say overall pretty good state here for Dorado, despite being down 2 kills from the Jarvan on to the Tristana. But I will say, with all the Tristana changes and all the Tristana nerfs, if you don't get out to an early lead in mid, you're going to keep going down, as Kerrigan just showed us. Wow, good timing there. Thank you for proving my point there. Going to have to go for the Null Magic Mantle as a response. Can't really stay in this lane anymore, since Oriana does, I think, outrange Tristana at this point in the game.
Yeah.
It'll be a bit longer before Tristana ends up outranging. So, yeah, it's definitely not looking good here for It's So Loud.
Yeah, and you know, having that lost chapter online, gonna grab the tier 1 boots and a little bit of amp tone. The shockwaves are gonna start hurting a lot more than they already do, so you gotta be very, very careful to not get caught out. Having a level lead into the back pocket as well as Em and Nair just going back and forth. Grandmaster at Arms committed as well. Doesn't know that the Nocturne's lingering around this corner. May potentially end up accidentally walking on into him. You see the Jarvan thing coming on up, pushing for this top side. That's going to enable Nair to come on down, try and cancel the recall timer. Split Breed knows he has this mid lane Prio knows that there's no way Tristana and Nocturne combined can win out in the 2v2. And even in the 3v3, Splitbreed and company might still be able to come out on top. Now you're maybe going to try and contest this. Kerrigan coming on up should be a sign that you should really just back away on the Crocodile. Maybe he's feeling, having the dominance in the back pocket, he could go for an assassination on the Orianna. But realistically, no real reason to try and look for anything here. He's just trying to be a little bit scary, a little bit of a threat. And the Dragon should be a free trade-off here for Dorado.
Yeah, and that's pretty good here. I will just put something into attention. I believe our teams are swapped, so it's actually Dorado on red, TMG on blue. Or sorry, other way around. TMG on red, Dorado on blue. Because I'm recognizing the team names. I'm like, yeah, a little bit mixed up here. So Dorado's actually the one ahead right now, with Split Breed, getting the Jarvan ganks early in the mid lane. So pretty good looks here, TMG. You know, they don't have too much of a lead here, and It's So Loud is really in the dirt, I'd say. So, yeah.
Yeah, not really the performance we've been seeing at It's So Loud so far. Maybe they felt like that this mid laner, you know, been such a strong, heavy fighting force for this team. Let's try and put him on a champion that kind of elevates that. What's better than AD carry? I don't think Tristana is as strong as she used to be throughout all the nerfs. Do I think she's bad mid? No, but I don't think she's like the greatest. I mean, I guess you can't play Yone anymore. I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if we would have seen a Yasuo come out.
Just pull out Smolder, honestly. Like,
or that, yeah.
And it would have worked for a full AD comp as well.
Straight. Paranoia comes on. Ow, they're trying to find a kill over onto the Jarvan. Gonna get it. It's a 2-minute shockwave into the Cataclysm. It's absolutely devastating as Kiwi not able to find the hook off onto Stitch. But that one was just a statement from Dorado.
Yeah, It's So Loud season opening doesn't find the damage, and that means that they just are able to turn it with the help of Kerrigan Shockwave plus Split Breed having that Cataclysm there. So extremely well played, and Dorado is making this one look easy so far. TMG really gonna have to kind of pivot to supporting, I don't know, maybe supporting top lane, pushing it more. At this point, the mid lane is over, I'd say.
Oh yeah. I'd have to agree. Chains of Corruption straight on onto Petty. Maybe want to look for something here, but no, not going to find anything. Stitch a little bit late to the party. Channeling up a Q. Can he snipe him? Nope, not able to find it. But the barrier from the Lulu shield would have potentially blocked out a majority of it anyway. And Indigo finding themselves a lead here into the bot lane all by themselves, realistically. No help, as we've never really seen the junglers in the bot lane for a majority of this series as a whole anyway.
Yeah, I think the one saving grace here for TMG is how advantaged Nair is. Gonna get another tower plate on this top side. Level up currently. Gonna deny the cannon as well, so gonna look for a play. But Kerrigan is in the area, does have flash on Nair.
Does have that shockwave back into the pocket. Might not need to use it. Dominance proc, flash away from the Crocodile. No one there to be able to follow on up. Nocturne into the bot side. Doesn't have Paranoia online either anyway. So wants to potentially play around this bot side. Try and go for this next dragon. But I think at this point, might want to hesitate from the dragon scaling SSM. Eating turret shots and Kerrigan cleans up the kill. Please, man, just buy Darksteel at this point because it's going to be so good. Paranoia straight on into this mid lane. Cataclysm comes on out and they at least trade 1-for-1. And the kill goes over to Petty. So that's honestly not a bad trade because Loud should be able to grab at least this one plate. So overall, it's not that horrible. Your main carry win con in the game right now gets a kill, but on the opposite side, Kerrigan finds another kill themselves, and Hazem should be able to get some turret plating. Loud got some turret plating. So overall, it's kind of an even trade.
Yeah, I will say the Wombo combo is gonna be not terrible to at least take down. If Indigo doesn't get into this game, I could see it being a little bit more hard for Dorado to play, since you could really just focus down the Ori with the help of the Nocturne and the Renekton in particular, who's built Eclipse. So definitely looking to just burst out damage-wise. Mr. Kiwi not able to find that hook, but yeah, that should make it a lot harder for the single threat so far. But Indigo obviously still in the game, going towards that Bork, so going to be a bit more of an on-hit variant. They want to go for that full team fight 5v5 with the help of their Wombo combo, so makes sense in that sense.
Yeah, definitely. Next set of neutrals are going to be on the map, and it looks like the Void Grubs have already been started. As Zem lands the counter-strike onto Nair. Dominance is going to be back online here very shortly. Grandmaster Arms will be up 2. Using the Rage Meter, heals that one straight on up. This should be a full 6 set picked on up for Dorado Gaming. So, a little bit like a flip-flop of what happened in game number 1. Dorado getting 6 Void Grubs. TMG, will they find Second Dragon? It's not up yet. J4 just took a reset, might be able to go ahead and contest that one. He's finished off the Eclipse already, has those those tabbies. If I'm the J4, I'm telling the team, I want to fight at this dragon because you are sitting at a phenomenal power spike.
Yeah, and it's so loud is gonna be definitely in range of whatever combo you throw at, and that's just gonna be one man down. I mean, I know it's allowed not the strongest, but you definitely want your Tristana to at least be there to contribute a bit more burst damage with this comp. And that's just gonna get a bit harder now that the Jarvan has completed that Eclipse. Stitch is gonna have to be doing some miracle work to keep these carries alive.
All right, meanwhile, running up into this river, Polymorph comes up. What the? I'm a little mad for loud because like, what was that? That was the craziest interaction I think I've ever seen. A polymorph hooked. That was like, what? I don't even know what League of Legends even is anymore at this point. But the river control has already been picked on up for the Soraya Dorado. The Dragon going ahead and already gotten started. Kiwi's just going to be able to play that zoning kind of control play style on this Nautilus at the moment. Hazem has to channel up the counter strike, stuns up the Crocodile. No real action in the top side here so far in game number 3. Now Dorado going to look to pick up that objective prowl. They're sitting at almost a 3k gold lead. Maybe we go for this Rift Herald now. Try and take this mid lane turret. Maybe try apply some more pressure topside. And try and really pull that down into more of a commanding gold lead in this game, because you've already shut down a win con for the side of Team G. They've got 2 other ones. If you can get the Renekton out of this game, it'd be even more so sitting in a perfect spot for Dorado.
Yeah, I mean, getting the Rift Herald here also should extend that gold lead even further, especially since they have the 6 grubs. That'll be something they play through the entire time, since they do have the Jax, and Ori is also not to be scoffed at in side lane. Can definitely tread those turrets with the help of the passive, so getting this Rift Herald is very good for them, and should extend their lead a bit more, especially since, yeah, Tristana's just not in the game. Hex Drinker plus, I forgot what that, Silver Mirror Dawn. Not really the strongest core.
That's the Hardbound X.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oops.
What is this? What is a Silver Mirror Dawn?
That's a good question. Maybe Diana's ability? I don't know. Don't ask me. It comes out, you know.
Man.
You know, maybe. Oh, it's a TFT item. Okay, that makes sense. I don't even play.
Oh well,
I don't even...
look, it's a Kraken Slayer now. Does it matter?
Oh, you're so right. Kraken Slayer completed. No crit on that item.
Nope, nope, not at all. Nope.
Yep. So we're going flat A, flat AD.
Flat AD. All right. Well, maybe the Hex Drinker will be finished into a Maw of Malmortius, or you know, maybe it won't be. Who knows? We'll have to see later on into the game as we continue to barrel on through it. A 2k gold lead sitting in the pocket for Dorado at the moment. Which turret is this Rift Herald gonna inevitably go to? I'm gonna be expecting them to hold on to it for a little bit while though. We don't have until about 3 minutes before the next dragon. Let your laners kind of just lane, try and whittle down the towers on their own maybe a little bit, and then go for the play there afterwards. With the Rift Herald coming down, and then look for this dragon. Meanwhile, up here in the river, oh, nothing really coming on out. Just some vision wars happening. You know, casual visual and roars 3 minutes before the dragon. You know, gotta get those wards down.
Yeah, as I'm gonna go in for a big trade here on Nair. Gonna have no Fury actually to trade out here. Going for quite the extended engagement. Nair's gonna pop the ultimate here on the top side, but in the meantime, Splitbreed's gonna pop that Rift Herald right before anything really happens. Jarvan gonna drift, looking for the turret.
Yep, he's gonna be able to find it, but does he get found out afterward? Nope, it dies immediately. I feel like this was a little bit forced. He could have waited a little bit longer. But the rest of the team is roaming on up. Maybe they want to take this. Maybe they want to just take this turret now. They should have the potential wave clear, but they do have 6 void grubs. Can they be able to get it? That's a 2-man shockwave into the depth charge. Stitch going to be the one getting knocked on up. Paranoia just to be able to stop the vision, but it was not going to be enough as Lulu trying to be able to save this Nocturne. The Cataclysm forces the flash out of Stitch, and they're able to trade at least 1-for-1. The Kog'Maw is pumping in damage left, right, and center. It's so loud trying to provide as much as possible. And Crocodile, he was roaming in the river, and he's on the prowl, on the hunt. Can he get there in the nick of time? It's allowed going in for the rocket jump. A TP committed 2 out of TMG just to be able to try and save this one. Hazem coming on down. Counter-Strike not able to find anything. Kerrigan, you've got to shut down. You got to be careful not to die here. Not going to have another shockwave back online anytime soon. Polymorph, and he ends up just completely falling. The turret play was forced out of Dorado, and TMG capitalized.
It's a full toss. I don't know what to say. That was a very big. They didn't really have the big follow up on top. They wanted to make sure that the turret died before they followed up on the engage, but that kind of gave TMG the time to allow Stitch to kind of follow up here. And it's so loud. TP's bot and just kills Kerrigan. And now this is looking real worrisome here for Dorado, as now they're going to claim up mid lane turret, and now bot lane turret probably going to go down. No one is in the area. Hazem does not have TP, so it's so loud. Now suddenly back in the game after what a disastrous early game it was. Split Breed looking for the kill. Gonna get spotted on the wave. It's so loud trying to evade, but I don't know if you're able to get out.
He doesn't have Cataclysm. He might be able to find the kill. Shutdown. Almost traded 1-for-1. Oh, nearly traded 1-for-1. I don't really know how. I mean, somehow the Tristana had a shutdown on them. Like I don't know how, but somehow the Tristana had a shutdown on them, and they are able to make that trade kind of worth it. Now Hazem looking for an engage trade, and the stun Grandmaster Arms hook lands through the flash onto the Nocturne, and suddenly Dorado make a statement back, thinking that you're back in this game, TMG. Now we've still got this, but honestly, I don't know. That in that last fight, that Kog'Maw looked a little scary.
Yeah, Nair getting poked down. Kerrigan waiting for the Q, and it's going to come back up. Nice solo kill on the top side. And in the meantime, Dragon's also going to get grabbed up here for Dorado. And TMG, despite getting their window back in the game, is not going to be able to capitalize due to some nice movements here from Dorado. They actually find the overextensions and grab up a couple more kills, and yeah, it's still working out in their favor. They're not at soul points, as they did get 1 denied here for TMG, so not gonna have the snowball completely pushed through, but definitely has some time before the game kind of comes to a climactic finish, I'd say, because it's from what I'm seeing, these teams like to 5v5. Let's get this clear.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Neither one of them like to solidify a gold lead either. Most of these games are ending within.
It's liquid. It's liquid money. You know.
True.
Fast moving. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Kerrigan now looking to maybe take the fight to It's So Loud. I mean, I don't. Not much has changed in this regards. So It's So Loud. I know you have 2 items, but I still don't think you win this. I hate to break it to you.
Okay, guys. Storm Surge is nerfed. Surely.
Yeah. Right. Storm Surge is nerfed. Yeah. Meanwhile, I just wanted to talk about this matchup. I was just thinking about and preparing to talk about this matchup. Hazem has finished off the Triforce with the plated steel caps as well. I feel like he's slowly going to start getting the edge over Nair here, because having that Trinity Force, having that dueling potential with the Grandmaster Arms coming up too, he's going to be a lot more tanky, and he's also going to do a lot more damage. So it's really just going to come down to time the engage as well against Nair, not fight around the dominance, not fight around that rage bars. Paranoia is going to be coming in, looking to potentially go on up to the top side. Can he be able to find a kill? The Shockwave is going to be no, that's the wrong champion. As Cataclysm into the backside. Stitch is the one completely engaged on. Nair falls. It's a double kill for Indigo. Can he continue to push on forward though? Trying to fire back against Penny. That AP Kog'Maw does a ton of damage though, but are the Varus autos do more? Yup, they do. And he's starting to fire back onto Split Breed too. He finds a double kill. It's absolutely insane what this champion does.
Yeah, the Lulu in the long run has worked out now twice. Overall, they need to make sure they take down this Enchanter, because even if Petty is going the AP build, it doesn't matter. You know, you just you just have so much survivability from the Lulu that it makes it work. Yeah, you get to supplement a bit of your lost attack speed, but yeah, I mean, kind of sloppily played here for Dorado. I think if Kerrigan was gonna TP anyways, you probably should have just committed it earlier. You dropped the turret to It's So Loud, and yeah, now red buff also gonna go over to the other side, so that's another objective. Some would argue over to TMG. So again, and now the gold's even, dead even, 39 point something K.
Dead even. The Kog'Maw, AP Kog'Maw sitting on 2 items. Think gonna be starting to try and build towards that Rabadons now. If that Kog'Maw gets that Rabadons, it might be spelling a little bit disaster here for the side of Dorado, because that's when that champion is gonna literally be the ultimate win con. And we
Yeah,
can even, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think it just becomes so hard to get on because a lot of your engage is so like, you know, front to back heavy. You have Chains of Corruption, you have Jarvan, who, yeah, you can find a nice flank, but that's not how I see my Jarvans play. I'll say that. They just go straight through the entire team to get to the back line. So they're gonna have to find some creative angles if they actually want to get onto this Lulu Kog'Maw on the back line. And with it being a dual carry comp with this Kog'Maw and this Tristana, you can't, even if Tristana's kind of put behind compared to the Orianna, I mean, not even at this point, they're about the same gold wise. So, you know, you have to focus at least one of them, and that leaves a lot of space for this Lulu to play around. Yeah, this is what I mean when I was talking about the draft earlier. They just have a little bit less damage than I feel like they need.
All right, Golden. This is going to be a crucial fight here. If Dorado win it, they're going to be sitting on that soul point, maybe looking to be able to extend a gold lead, take that on over into the Baron. If TMG win this one out, it could smell the comeback. It could spell disaster for Dorado. Are they going to cancel this recall, though? Stitch hiding in the bush. They're going for the engage. The polymorph straight on over to the Nautilus. It's a 2-man cataclysm, but the Lulu one's going to be committed. You're fighting on top of everyone. Paranoia comes on out. The TP from the Tristana is going to be a little bit late to the fight. Hazam is already able to find the best of the enemy jungler. And Stitch is next on the hit list. Hazam going to get Counter-Strike rooted on up as It's So Loud trying to find the engage onto Indigo, but it does not realistically matter. Flash on over the wall. Split Breed trying to run down this enemy mid lane 80 carry. Indigo just goes uncontested the entire team fight and pumps out damage left, right, and center. He says, screw your Kog'Maw. And what actual potential timing for the side of Dorado. They take a full team fight when Petty wasn't even there.
Yeah, a little bit disastrous there, and Stitch wanted to stay to save when you really should just prioritize your own life there. Nocturne was not getting out of that situation, I'll say that. So, pretty disastrous there for TMG. It's a game of throws, a game of inches, some would say, but a game of
Definitely
throws
been
for
a
the
game
most
of
part.
throws, yeah.
Not just a game, it's been the whole series.
Let's start gambling, chat. Who's gonna throw harder?
Yeah, so I'd say they need to just, you know, both teams just need to tighten it up. That's just how it goes. You need to be there when your carries are there and fight when you have good timings there. But, you know, they overextend just a little bit. They look for the kill on Mr. Kiwi, and you may get the kill, but it's going to cost you heavily with the Orianna in the area.
Yeah, Nautilus for the rest of your team is not a very good trade-off. Especially now that this Orianna is 6-1, the Varus is 4-2 with a shutdown on top of them, and sitting on a good amount of gold, at least in terms of their items. Has finished off the Ginzos, has gone for the the plated steel cast, be a little bit more tanky against this dive potential that you were talking about with It's So Loud and Nocturne and Renekton trying to get onto this backline. I would not be surprised if after, I believe he's built. What is he building into? Heartbound recurve. What even is that? What even is that? Kraken? I think
Harpon
that's
recurve? Yeah,
I think
that's Kraken.
yeah. He's building into Kraken. Maybe after this Kraken, I would not be surprised if we see him go something like Jaksho and just build full tank in after that.
Yeah, I could see it too. And also with how strong God, the name of that item is escaping me. The one that gives Terminus. There you go. With how strong Terminus is, definitely would be a good buy.
No, this built
that
into
Terminus?
Terminus, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I think this does build Terminus, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, So yeah, if that's Terminus, then this Varus is well on his way to being extremely tanky. But that is not really the problem. I still say the damage is really where you're lacking for Dorado. So I don't think that it changes whether Varus goes tanky or not. So yeah,
Yep.
I'd say it's better to be tanky than not at this point.
Built the Terminus.
Yep, there you go. It's funny, both the kind of bow and arrow. I guess one's a quiver, one's a one's an actual bow. So they both build out of the same components.
Kraken Slayer's like a harpoon though, no?
Is
It
it a
looks like-
harpoon?
I don't know. It looks really funny. It like looks like a bow and a quiver like combined.
And a crossbow.
Yeah,
I-
it looks like a million things that it
Yeah.
realistically could be.
Well, either way, both bow items, they got those same components in them. So, gonna be grabbing that up. And now Baron is up. And, yeah, they have big opportunity here to kind of look for a team fight on their own ground since Kerrigan already deep, but on a ward
ward.
currently. If the Nocturne ult comes through, I don't know if anyone's gonna be there in time to save him, but they're not gonna pull the
100%.
trigger. Petty not in the area quickly enough, but with the spotting on the Baron, they're all just gonna peel off of it. Indigo's gonna take a bit of damage, gonna heal up with that honey fruit, and continue the ball rolling. Looks like Hazem wants to go on a trade here with Itzola, but with an ult getting committed here, so Buster Shot just immediately gone. That's a pretty big cooldown, I'd say, to keep yourself alive, but definitely doesn't take that long for it to come back up. Renekton pushing pretty aggressively, might get caught out here by the full bot lane here of Dorado, but just gonna respect it back off in time, and everyone's just gonna go for their full resets as this next fight comes through.
Kerrigan with a little bit of a DC is I don't know what's happening. I'm assuming he's still in the game since he's channeling a recall.
Yeah, maybe
he
we dodge
moved.
some pauses, you know?
Yeah, if he moves, I think we'll be set.
Yep.
Yeah, he's moving. Okay, we are okay. But is Team G gonna be okay? Because we got about a minute before this next dragon, and Oriana is coming out of base with a fully completed Shadow Flame, 3 items on the mid laner, 3 items on the bot laner. Matched though. This Tristana has found their way back into the game pretty impressively through some kills, and as well as just the farm. Able
I
to
will
get
say
this
that
3
build
items
does
on.
make me like want to vomit, but you know that's fine. You know, Tristana's fallen on hard times, so
Yeah.
having a weird build is just how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's going to definitely be like that sometimes. But who is gonna come out on the back end of this fight? I'm looking dead at Kerrigan and Mr. Kiwi. Maybe they use this Nautilus as some sort of ball delivery system. Maybe they put it on the Jax. Although top side, they're just gonna fully commit onto this Renekton, throwing everything in the kitchen sink on top of him, and going to go 1-4-0. Now they're gonna ping up this Baron. They don't need the dragon. They're already sitting on Soul Point. They gotta pick top side. There's no vision on this. They can only speculate that they're starting up this Baron. They're going to just settle for a dragon trade for this Baron at this point in the game. I mean, you'll take what is given to you, but it's not good because that gold lead just spiked to 5k, and off these turrets that are going to get taken and the waves that are going to get pushed, it's going to spike even more.
Yeah, I will say they definitely do need the Renekton in these fights. You need the kind of bulky front line to keep your carries alive, so not too surprising they don't opt for the fight, at least get something out of the play. But that's still just a bad look overall here for TMG, and could be spell the end coming soon for TMG if Dorado just pushes out this top side. The 6 grubs, you saw how many there are. The Void Mites are going crazy. Little party in the top side, but they're all going to go for the resets. There will be no objective, so it's going to be pure lane by lane play. How well can Dorado sync up these waves is really going to be the main question. And you know, I've casted other leagues in Titan, and usually they're much lower level. So I'd actually like to see some good coordination on these lane crashes, because I haven't seen anywhere else. So if it's gonna happen, it's got to be now.
I hate to break it to you, buddy, but yeah.
About those lane.
About the quality being better up here. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, the mechanics are and the players are, but like sometimes, you know, you see some things up here. That's all I'm saying.
Sometimes, I mean, I've watched 3 games so far. I think I know.
Yeah, no, you should have watched the last split. Woof, woof. Crazy things went down last split. Anyway, all the turrets across the map have been taken. Will they be able to snowball this into the inhibitor turrets, though? With the base being pressured on to the back of the doorstep and you having two 80 carries, well, 80 carries in quotation
Hey,
marks.
Ram.
The wave splitting, or the wave pressure is going to be there for Team G. They're going to be able to clear out these waves extremely fast because of these 80 carry champions. And so, yeah, you can't force all 5 members down one lane. I'm sorry, you just can't do it because the wave clears there. You have to go for some sort of split.
Oh,
Some
watch
sort of
them.
1-4, some
You
sort
gotta
of
watch them,
1-3-1.
Cilantro. I think they could do it. You feel what I mean?
Yeah, if we just try again,
Yeah,
just go back.
all
It didn't
random,
work.
all bot, all random,
Let's-
all mid, all random, all top.
Yeah. Bot lane didn't work. Let's try mid lane.
Mid lane time. They're all buckled up, but yeah, they just can't get through this Kog'Maw, and they don't want to snap engage. They don't want to risk throwing the game, but if they let this Baron kind of slip through without getting any real value out of it, that would also be pretty tragic.
Kerrigan low-key scaring me there, being by themselves that far pushed up. Scaring me just quite a little bit, but I trust that they know what they're doing. Now we have some sort of split. Okay, it's a 3-2 split. Flash Hook is going to end up coming down, forcing out the Lulu, ultimately leaving the knockups. Paranoia is going to be committed onto a golden. I believe that one's the Orianna. They're trying to get the kickback on the Kerrigan. They're going to be able to get it, but not before he's able to trade out at least 1-for-1. Meanwhile, Nair's getting kited and poked away. Indigo trying to do their best. Gets Polymorph, has to burn out the Flash. Still pumping in the damage. Scatteroo, Q is going to be able to help find it. Now it's so loud. Shutdown ends up falling onto this Jax. So loud, has to use the rocket jump just to be able to get on out. Salt Team. There's Split Breed able to find Petty. They get the enemy 80 carry, but not before he's able to trade at least 1-for-1. Now Split Breed maybe trying to go on to It's So Loud. The Kog'Maw pass is going to be a good chunk of burst damage. But they got... Okay, it's a 3-for-3 trade-off. Do they get this turret? I mean, it's quite possible that they get it. It's just the Lulu there. And the Tristana is weak. Okay, so this should be overall a positive trade-off, but now you need to reset. You got a lot of gold on Indigo off that fight. Reset and go fight for this dragon. You're sitting on soul point. You can claim soul here. Go reset, buy items, go fight.
Yeah, pretty good fight there overall. I mean, they're able to at least crack mid and bot on the turret wise, but they won't get a nice map advantage from killing any of the inhibitors. So I'd say overall the Baron, not the most successful. Definitely could have had a better opportunity there to kind of push that advantage. I will say one thing, Petty did not barrier, and I feel like if Lulu gets there in time after the Kog'Maw barrier, there's a chance that that fight just goes the opposite way, and we're looking at a 5-for-3. But not going to happen as such, and they're going to fight it out in this dragon in 40 seconds. But the setup is already there for Dorado, and this is their soul. Ocean Drake also looks like it'll be pretty impactful considering how long that last fight went. Not as much burst on the side of TMG.
Nocturne spotted out potentially on this wolf camp here. Are they going to decide to run him on down? And they're getting greedy. They're pushing on into this jungle. And not much that they can find, though. Nocturne is going to be able to run away the speed of sound. Or is he? I don't know. He's still getting zoned out. Dorado's looking for the fight while waiting for this dragon to go ahead and spawn. This is going to be the 5v5 of the century here, as it goes straight in. The shockwave actually ends up missing. That's big for the side of TMG. They want to be able to turn this fight around. Paranoia comes on out. They're trying to engage onto the Jax. The Lulu's going to be able to get that knock up straight onto the Jarvan, who's chunked down to about quarter of HP by this Kog'Maw. Needs to be able to land the smite. Is able to land the smite. It's a 2-3-man make it root. Nair goes in for the engage. Procs the dominance, but it's just going to get bursted straight on down. Cataclysm finds 2 in the back line. Might as well be the ball lane because it's allowed. Is an 80 carry. Petty able to trade out at least 1-for-1. Split Breach should be able to go over the wall here and clean up the rest of this team. It's going to be an ace for Dorado Gaming in game number 3. Do we have the end game angle finally?
Dorado is going to push up this bot lane. They don't have a wave for a while, but it's 24 seconds for the first member that could really do anything here. And, it's actually looking pretty close. They're splitting their damage here, which I don't know if they are going to be able to end since they're splitting it so much. They're still looking for it, it looks like, but I don't know. Nocturne up in 10, 7 seconds. They have 6 scrubs, so this might just be the end. 3 seconds left.
6 scrubs are all you need. You don't need Baron. You don't need anything. You realistically just need to end the game here. Lulu ult, and there's a shockwave just to be able to put the icing on the cake. Dorado Gaming said you got lucky in game number 1, TMG. But for the rest of this series, we are putting you back in the dirt, coming back out with a statement game of this week number 2.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Dorado there. I feel like they made it work on the combo. You saw J4 Oriana. When all things, feel like, oh, we don't know what jam to pick. Guess what? They're going to go back to old reliable. Sombrero combo works out. And I feel like Kerrigan really showed their chops in that last game. No one else really did it like him, I'd say. And then Indigo, put up a good performance on Varus as well, but really did come down to those shockwaves and positioning by Kerrigan. So a little bit of a tough loss for TMG. I feel like they could have won any of those games, but they just couldn't lock it down and find the advantages where they lie. I feel like Kog'Maw put in a good opportunity to actually come back into the game, and then the Trist, Renekton, Nocturne, I feel like they just didn't snap engage with the Nocturne as much as they could have. This champion, you kind of just have to be confident that the enemy team will not be coordinated because you don't have vision. So, you have to just pull the trigger. When you saw Kerrigan in mid, all alone, why is there no Nocturnal just going straight in? Like,
Yeah.
You just kind of have to believe right there when you are behind with a Baron kind of awaiting on deck. But yeah, good win out from Dorado, and that's going to put them 2-0 starting off on groups, and that's a good leeway to go towards that playoffs that is in about 6 weeks.
Yep, definitely, for sure. Congratulations to Dorado. TMG, you looked pretty good going up against one of our top tier considered teams in the league. So definitely don't go out with your heads down. Definitely put up a fight in performance. So, but that's going to be able to do it for us tonight. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials, and thanks out to everybody for coming out and watching the stream. Thank you for all the raids. Thank you for all the subs. Thank you for everything. If you want to know the rest of the games that will be going on, make sure you can join our Discord, especially if you want to be able to join a team yourself and look to compete in one of our upcoming splits. But that will go ahead and do it for us from Titan. We will see you next week.